Round one, fight!
Hey, welcome, and Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays, all that. Welcome to Tournament Fights. This is episode number 98. We're getting closer to our 100th episode. We're slowly inching our way there, but we have a fun one tonight that I've been looking forward to. 4 powerhouse directors, some of the best to ever do it, honestly, and it's going to be Steven Spielberg versus Martin Scorsese versus Quentin Tarantino versus James Cameron. And we originally did not have Cameron in there, but we figured that a lot of his movies are on the same level. And also, he just had a big one out with Avatar, the Way of Water. So, yeah. And I realized I got to fix the title. I'll do it. I meant to put 4, and I hit the shift key, and it says a money symbol in the title, but they're all money directors. They make a lot of money. So, but yeah, I am your host, Jordan, the movie hero Anderson. I just put my screen name as a guy that has a fun name to say, Rupert Pupkin, because it's easy to mispronounce and kind of fun to say. So, but anyways, I will go ahead and I'll introduce our panel for tonight. We'll start with my co-host tonight, Austin. How's it going?
Well, the money thing makes sense because James Cameron still has the highest grossing movie of all time. And at several points in his career, Steven Spielberg had the highest grossing movie of all time. So It makes a lot of sense, actually. These guys both bring a lot of money to the box office and command a lot of money for all their movies. So, yeah, but are usually worth it. So, it should be. It's gonna be a stacked thing. I made the bracket for this one. It's completely random, I assure you, and you'll know it by some of these matches, because some of these matchups are going to be brutal right out of the gate. So you'll know that. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we always like when you guys run the brackets. I can kind of just sit back and relax. I don't have to worry about too much. So it's kind of nice. It's nice for a change. But we also have joining us Mr. Chris Scott, Casablanca Kid.
What's up, guys? Doing good, guys. I'm excited to do this. I feel like there's definitely going to be some blind spots, but at the same time, I feel like I've probably seen a ton of these movies, though, on the other hand.
Yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to see what movies people haven't seen, because most of these are pretty big movies for the most part. So it's kind of like if you have a blind spot, then it might be a big one. So yeah. But we also have joining us Stephen Shepard. What's up?
Hey, yeah. Yeah, it should be a fun one. I think all 4 of these guys are great. So some I love more than others, but still they're all great.
Yeah. And I had fun catching up on a few of them. I watched 3 of them, so I'll give you my thoughts on those 3 when they come up. But I watched them for the first time. But we also have Michael the Wolf's Teeth Wyndham. How's it going?
Yeah, all you Once Upon a Time in Hollywood fans, y'all would know that reference if y'all are fans of the movie. And I'm excited to be here. I am a fan of all these people. Obviously, I am totally not biased whatsoever because of putting into this. But 2 of these guys are my
shirt and the poster and all that. Yeah.
2 of these guys are my number 1 and number 2 favorite director of all time. So I'm definitely excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I'm a big Tarantino, Scorsese fan. So yeah.
Well, I think there will definitely be some times where you might have to pick between the 2. So this will be a little tricky.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. But last but certainly not least, we have Jacob Barber. How's it going?
Going well. I'm just here to round the panel out. I'm not here to my love for any 4 of these directors. It was as of an hour and a half ago. Hey, we need somebody to hop on. And I just happen to be available. So
maybe you'll get some recommendations.
I have not seen this.
Hey, but you could get some recommendations for some great movies maybe you haven't gotten to yet, and what to prioritize.
You are like always the king of. Sure, I'll hop on.
Yeah, right. So
whenever they ask you.
We always
I don't know
appreciate
what that
that. We
says
can.
about my personal life.
I look at it as this, Jacob. I envy you because some of these movies you'll be like, I haven't seen it, and I'll be like, wow, you get to see that movie for the first time. That's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
for the first time.
You know what? Because I wish I could say that for some of these movies, and like, well, go back and watch them for the first time. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, with all
I
these movies.
imagine, I imagine because Scorsese and Spielberg have done so many movies, you probably had to not put some of their movies on.
Funny you should mention that, Steven, because I'll
Yeah.
explain how this thing went. All right.
Yeah.
So let me do it on how the bracket went together. So since Cameron and Tarantino have the smaller filmographies, we took all of their movies because Tarantino has 9 films as of right now, and Cameron has 9 films as well. So that's how we do it. So we used all of their movies, and then Scorsese and Spielberg, I just kind of took their most well-known movies essentially, and did about 20 and change a piece, maybe about 24 a piece, something like that, however the math worked out, and went with that. So yeah, of course they're going to be a little heavier on the Spielberg and the Scorsese only because they have larger filmographies, but I think it evens it out because Tarantino has a lot of amazing great movies, and so does James Cameron. So I think they can hold their own on their, as far as up against all these other ones. So that's why I think it's still fair because, hey, Spielberg has just as many not so great movies, and, Scorsese has some movies that maybe some other people aren't as enthusiastic about either. So I think it kind of levels out. So I think it'll be all right.
You're not going to say it.
So know the post, Steven. So.
Well,
I love the Post. The Post would make maybe not my top 10, but top 15 of Spielberg.
Yeah, well, speaking of the blind spots earlier, I was going to say one of my favorite things is to either watch a movie for the very first time, or if someone hasn't seen it, like I'm a big fan of like showing people movies for the first time. Oh, you haven't seen this great movie? All right, we're going to sit down, we're going to watch this, that kind of thing. So yeah, I always especially last couple of girls that I dated, we had fun time because I dated a couple that hadn't seen a lot of my favorite movies, so we got to watch them for the first time. So that's always a fun time. But yeah, we can go ahead and we can jump into it. So, Austin, you want to explain how it's going to work?
Yeah, so I'll actually be running the bracket tonight. It's my first bracket I've made for the show, which is fun. I've been trying to learn and participate a little bit more as well, in addition to just being the guy who writes down all the votes and all that kind of stuff. So, but what we'll do tonight is everybody on here has been on here before, but if you're just tuning in, we took all those movies, like I said, used kind of selected from their filmographies, all of Cameron's, all of Tarantino's, and then selected from Spielberg and Scorsese. There are no seeds. They are completely random. Everything went into a wheel, and I spun it 64 times and shuffled them up occasionally. So it is all completely random, as you will see. But we'll see which one reigns supreme at the end, which movie, and more importantly, which director reigns supreme. You might get some that are Spielberg versus Spielberg, just based on the randomizer, or Scorsese versus Scorsese, or anything in between. So we'll see what happens. We'll go up and down the line. So Wolf will be first when we scroll on over. Please try to keep your thoughts condensed to tournament fights format. Like we said, Wolf, I know you're going to be very passionate about those Tarantino movies. Try to keep the tangents to a minimum and just get to the point. Get your main points about what you like about it.
2 minutes at most. Don't worry.
Yeah,
1 minute. 1 minute at most.
About one. Yeah,
1 minute at most.
But,
all right, I'll have Oscar
5 seconds.
stand by.
Yeah.
All right, but that's how it works. So Wolf will be first, and whenever you guys are ready, we'll get this thing started.
Yeah, the Oscar on standby, or I have a little clip if you go too long with it.
Today, Junior.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
You
should
get another Billy Madison one.
All right, I'm not a Billy Madison fan.
You should have
Yeah.
like Tarantino film, Scorsese film clips.
Yeah.
ready for
Yeah,
those.
right. Well, it's one step at a time. The clips take a while to pull, so I'm actually gonna have more movies in there. It's just that's what I had time for. But we also have Malcolm in the chat chiming in already here. He says hashtag justice for the post. He's starting to know a new hashtag. So
No, I'm not justice for that movie. It's fine.
You
No,
make the
they-
bracket
No,
next
no,
time.
I agree.
bad.
That's just for the
The
Post.
movie's boring.
yeah,
Most
Justice for
boring
the
piece of
boring-
film.
One of the most boring movies ever
Boring
made.
movies.
yeah.
Yeah.
No thanks.
We want a
All
good
right.
nap. Watch that. But
Well, if you guys
Yeah.
are ready, we'll get this thing going. I'm ready
All right,
to scroll
let's
on
do
over.
it.
Let's scroll on over. Let's go. Let's see what the first
Yes.
matchup is. It is The Aviator versus Titanic.
2 Leo movies.
All right.
All
Two
right.
movies. All right. So we will go to Wolf first.
Yeah, 2
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio films. Both,
Mhm.
in a way, technically one about ships, sort of in a way, because
Ships
one's
and
about
planes.
one's about
Yeah.
an actual ship, one's about a plane, so it's all about
Which mode of transportation?
Some mode of transportation. It's very interesting. Yeah, I am one that honestly I find Titanic to be kind of overrated, in my opinion. I think it's just good. I don't think it's like, amazing, best picture worthy kind of stuff. Good Will Hunting should have won best picture that year, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it's just like there's definitely a lot more better films than Titanic, and Aviator is one of them. I actually really like Aviator. Leonardo DiCaprio was incredible in the film. Cate Blanchett's first Oscar win. She's my favorite actress. It's her first Oscar win, and she killed it in this movie. And just this film was fantastic. So for me, I'm going to go with The Aviator.
Okay.
And Malcolm's already having a bit of a tough time deciding. He's like,
oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Just wait about 2 minutes till we get to the next one. You wait. Just you wait.
He's going for Titanic, I guess.
Just you wait, guys. Just you wait just a minute. You ain't seen nothing yet. All right, Steven.
This is actually a pretty tough match. They're both pretty even to me. Of the movies that were nominated that year, I would have personally gone, instead of Titanic, I personally would have gone with LA Confidential.
Too.
But between these two, I gotta go with. They're both very close. Both I haven't done my list yet for my top 128, but I'm pretty sure. I think it's a pretty safe bet that both of these will be on there. I got to give the slight edge to The Aviator, though, because The Aviator was just absolutely riveting from beginning to end. And I think it's probably Leonardo DiCaprio's best performance. So, yeah, I guess I got to go with The Aviator.
Well, when we get to another Scorsese film, I'll mention Leo's.
Yeah, well, Chris, what do you think here?
So, this is surprisingly a little easier for me. I got to think like what movie did I kind of have more fun with? Yes, Aviator was good, but was it like the most phenomenal movie I've ever seen? No. But Titanic, I don't get the overhyped comment from. I know Jordan feels this way. I know you feel this way, Michael. But this movie was riveting. Like, holy shit, he brought the Titanic to life. Absolutely, the Titanic.
First off, I just gotta say, because you said which one do I have the most fun with? To start off your sentence, and then it's like you have the most fun with a movie about a ship sinking.
Okay, you know what?
Especially a disaster movie. Yeah, but
that's only the last half of the movie.
It's only the last half. Right? It's a beautiful movie. Okay.
But Chris, you went to the Titanic Museum in Vegas, didn't you? Did you go?
I did. It was incredible.
Yeah,
there's one of those in.
I eventually want to go to Ireland too.
Yeah, I think there's one in New York City now too.
There's one everywhere.
Yeah, all over the place. So, but it's fun though. They kind of bring some stuff to life, so it's fun. But Jacob, yeah, what do you think?
I think Titanic, because I haven't seen The Aviator.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, and The Aviator, I like it. I don't love it. I like the first hour more than anything when it's just about Howard Hughes making his crazy plane movie and trying to get it just right and just spending money left and right. When it kind of settles in after that, I'm not as into it. I think the performances are good, but it's a little overlong for me just for the material. But yeah, I really like Titanic. I've come to really love it. I think it's a good romance movie and a great disaster movie. The last hour and a half is one of the best disaster movies ever made. So I'll say Titanic.
Well, like I'm in the camp with Wolf too. I think Titanic's overrated. I don't care for it. Like there's a lot of cliche things. Paint me like one of your French girls, or like the whole like when making love out in the old car, or like there's.
You don't like seeing Kate Winslet naked? Noted.
I mean, come on now.
All right.
Well, like it's just
I'll write that down.
Overrated and overdone the way that it's done. I don't know, but and yeah, or like everyone does. I'm the king of the world, like when they're on a boat or like. Or something like that. So
that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
I just remember the video when Leonardo DiCaprio finally won his Oscar for The Revenant. There was like people freaking out, and there's a video like of people playing the Titanic song.
Yeah, one of the best things is to like hear the like bad Titanic like like recorder music like on a video too. That always makes me laugh. But yeah, I haven't seen The Aviator, but I definitely want to. Like I've heard that it's long, but so is that Titanic. That's freaking long too. And so yeah, I'm just not a big Titanic fan. I will recognize the set pieces and the costume design are outstanding. Those two things, but beyond that, I just don't really like it that much. So I'll vote for The Aviator, even though I haven't seen it.
Well, right off the bat, we have
visual effects too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right off the bat, we have a tie. So we go to Wolfman for the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Well, as I told y'all, I find Titanic overrated. So you know what? I'm gonna give it to The Aviator. Both the other Kate movie beats out the other Kate movie.
All right.
Well, we're gonna sink the Titanic first round.
Well, it doesn't matter which one moves on because it's going to lose to the winner of the next round, as you'll see. We have Schindler's List versus T2.
Oh, what?
God damn it!
What?
I had no idea what this would be.
Do you go for the Better Mate movie, or do you go for the more rewatchable?
You go for whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's
Whatever you want.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's a fun tournament fight. Yep.
I told you guys. All right, random. Steven, you're up first.
You know, when I did my top 64, I had even though it's the better movie, that Schindler's List is the better movie, I think I had Terminator 2 above it. But the more I think about it, I think Schindler's List is too much of a masterpiece for me not to go for it. So I'm going to go with Schindler's List.
Yeah. Well, Chris?
This is really tough because, I mean, Schindler's List is a masterpiece, but Terminator 2 is incredible. I mean, I got to go with Terminator 2.
Okay.
Two very similar movies.
Oh, very similar.
Not so
movies.
much.
Hey, they both have a genocide of a group of people. I'll say that. Just in very, very different ways. Jacob.
Yeah, this matchup, because like I said, I previewed the bracket because I wasn't supposed to be on the episode, and this matchup was why I almost said no. I think T2 is the more rewatchable movie for obvious reasons, but like it's hard to deny the greatness of Schindler's List. Like somebody just asked me recently to he was going to do a poll of I don't know how many people he mentioned, but like the 10 best movies of all time, like not your 10 favorite, just like the 10 best.
10 objectively, what do you think are the greatest movies ever?
Yeah,
I would put Schindler's List on that list too. Yeah. And the first movie that came to mind was Schindler's List. So I'm gonna go with Schindler's List.
Yeah. Well, Austin.
Yeah, it's crazy because I could pick either one of these on any given day based on what I want to watch. You know what I think is better because I mean they're both masterpieces of even their genre. You know, of action or sci-fi or drama. You know, historical drama. I'm going to go with T2 just because I watched it more and lived with it longer than Schindler, but I could change it on any given day. So move on to me before I change my mind.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah, this one's tough. This is a doozy for the first round, but because both of these deserve to be like near the championship. But I've only seen Schindler's List twice, and I don't know I've seen it 3 times. So I had enough
which is probably more than most people.
Yeah, right. I've seen it that many times. I guess I had enough courage to watch it that many times because it's not easy to watch. But T2, I've seen it 20, 30 times, something like that. There's a real argument to say that it's the greatest action movie of all time, maybe. I'm not saying that it is, but you could argue it for sure. It's just so well made. The effects were groundbreaking for the time. The T-1000, Robert Patrick. You talk about Linda Hamilton as a great female action hero. Even though we got her in the first one, and that's where we first were introduced to that character, Sarah Connor, but still, I think that everyone really shines in T2. So yeah, I got to go T2, I think.
All right, Wolfman.
It's interesting. Whenever I was doing some last minute Christmas shopping, I went to Best Buy today, and the 4K versions of both these movies were literally standing right.
Don't buy the 4K of T2.
Yeah.
It's a scam.
I
Yeah.
already did on Black Friday like a while
Really?
ago, and that was
Yeah.
because it was only like $10. So I was like, I'll
How is
get
it a scam?
but-
What's up?
It's not a good transfer. Even Cameron said he's going to retransfer it eventually. What
Yeah.
they did,
Oh, really?
they did with it is not a
Okay.
good transfer. Just stick with the Blu-ray. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I've heard Schindler's List is a great transfer. I have not picked it.
That's true.
But I have heard it's a great transfer. The fact that one of these two is not going into the championship, honestly, it kind of makes me mad. Like I'm
Yeah.
honestly I'm kind of upset that not one of these two
I know.
is going to make it in because they're both phenomenal films. T2 is more watchable for me. I have more fun with that film. However, Schindler's List, I feel it's like up there as maybe with like There Will Be Blood as maybe the greatest film ever made. Like as far as the filmmaking goes, it's just phenomenal. And I think that this movie is just a masterpiece, and it's in like my top like 20, maybe 30 films of all time. I mean, I can't watch it nearly as much as T2, but because of just the effect that it had on me, I think I'm going to have to go with Schindler's List here. But man, is this hard.
All right. Well, you won't have to decide because Steven, we have another tie, so it goes to you now. Tie after tie. Yep.
The ending of Schindler's List when Liam Neeson breaks down and says, "I could have done more. I could have saved more." This is one of the most moving scenes of any movie of all time, and that scene alone is why I have to stay with Schindler's List.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Schindler's
List.
All right.
It's not my favorite Spielberg movie, but it's Spielberg's best movie.
All right.
For sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. Let's see what our next matchup is. Oh, we have Tarantino. We got some Death Proof versus Minority Report.
This is actually easy for me.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, I know which one I'm going with.
All right, Chris. Chris is up first.
I don't know. I love Tarantino, but I don't think I loved Death Proof though. I thought it was all right. I mean, it wasn't amazing. It wasn't mind blowing. I'm going to have to go with Minority Report on this one.
Yeah. Jacob?
Haven't seen either of these. The one that interests me more is Minority Report, so I'll go with that one.
Yeah. Well, Austin?
Yeah, I did rewatch Death Proof not long ago when me and Henry ranked our Tarantino, and it did go up a notch or two. I think it's it played better the second time when I saw. I hadn't seen it since I saw the Grindhouse double feature, and it worked better. I mean, the last 30 minutes is great. With Zoe Bell on top of the car and everything, it's awesome. But yeah, Minority Report's a really underrated, cool Spielberg movie. And if you're on a Tom Cruise kick right now and you haven't gone back and watch it, go back and watch it because it'll show you again why he's a star and even 20 years ago. So I'll go with Minority Report.
Yeah. It's like, why couldn't either of these movies go up against T2? I mean, for real.
Because the wheel just spun away one more, and that's what we got. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, but I haven't seen Death Proof. It might be my only Tarantino blind spot, though. I think I've seen all the rest of his movies. So yeah, this is just one I haven't got to. Just because, like, when I was asking people which Tarantino movie should I watch first, this was like lower on the list. But Minority Report's great. It's a lot of fun. I think it's really solid performances from Tom Cruise, from Colin Farrell, and then I always like when what's his name, Peter Stormare, when he pops up as the guy that like helps him with his eyes and all that. So, and then there's some fun action set pieces that whole like chase where it's on top of all the cars and stuff is fun. So yeah, I'll go Minority Report.
All right, Wolfman.
Yeah, first off, I just want to show I got like the entire box set of Tarantino here that comes with Death Proof.
Nice.
But I think that both of these movies are underrated, I think, in these directors' filmographies. Minority Report is a very underrated Spielberg film. The Death Proof is, I feel, a film that just gets kind of overhated and it's kind of underappreciated. Rewatching them again. Well, actually, I haven't rewatched Minority Report in a while. Actually, I haven't seen that one in a while. I need to rewatch it. I need to rewatch it again. But rewatching Death Proof not too long ago, I got more out of it than I did. And so, yeah, I am probably going to be the lone wolf here and give it to Death Proof.
All right. And I'm pretty sure I know where Steven's going because he's talking about Minority Report a lot. But we'll make it official.
Pretty easy. Minority Report is my 5th favorite Spielberg movie and my favorite Tom Cruise movie, whereas Death Proof is the only Tarantino movie I outright don't like. So Minority Report easily.
All right. Well, hey, at least Steven it makes it out of the first round, no matter what it goes up against next time. So we'll see. All right. Minority Report moves on, and we'll scroll down and see what our next matchup is. We got Silence with Martin Scorsese versus the BFG.
Oh, man.
Do we even need to vote on this? This is
I actually have not seen either one of these.
Wow. Okay.
Well, we can go around very, very quickly if we want to, Jacob. Very quickly.
I haven't seen Silence, and I don't mind the BFG, so I'm gonna go with the BFG. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the BFG, and I watched Silence today. It was one of my 2 Scorsese blind spots I had. I've owned the Blu-ray for forever. I just never popped it in. It's a good movie. It's not a great movie, but it's very, very well shot, and it was nominated for cinematography for a good reason. Good performances. If you're an Andrew Garfield fan, you should watch it. It's a very good Andrew Garfield performance. Adam Driver's very good too, and a good story. It's just a very, very slow burn. So, but it's not bad. I'll go with Silence.
Yeah. Well, I don't really mind a slow burn when it's done well. I just haven't seen Silence yet. So, but I'm a big fan of stuff like Better Call Saul. That's a good slow burn. Just like stuff like that. But in the BFG, I wasn't a huge fan. I do really like the music. I think it's John Williams doing it. So, and then it has some weird stuff. It has upside down drinks where the queen is farting and weird stuff like that. I don't know. It's just all over the place. I did read the books when I was in elementary school, but the movie doesn't hold a candle to that. So I think just because I wasn't big on the BFG, even though I haven't seen it, I'll vote for Silence because these movies I haven't seen are going to movies I don't like that much. So I'm voting for movies I haven't seen. So, so Silence.
All right, Wolfman.
So I watched the BFG last year, and honestly, I forgot it. It's so forgettable to me. I don't even know what happened. But Silence, it's just I feel like this is a movie that was made for me. It's in my top. It might be in my top 5 Scorsese films. I have to look again. I adore this movie. As someone who used to be and still has some faith in me, but used to be at least really religious, I was very affected by this movie and thought that there was some really personal stuff that connected with me. So for me, I am going to have to give it to Silence, hands down.
All right.
Yeah.
Like I said, I haven't seen either one of these, but Silence looks good. Whereas, despite Spielberg's involvement, I have no interest in the BFG. So
yeah.
Okay.
So Silence.
All right. And Chris.
I think I might have tried to watch Silence forever ago, and I just thought it was boring. And I'm not very religious, so it kind of felt just all right. The BFG isn't amazing, but because of Silence being boring, I'm going to choose BFG.
Okay.
All right.
Well, in that, it's going to be Silence, which I believe we'll see in our 2016 tournament because it was a 2016 movie, so we'll probably see it again here in the next month or so, actually. All right.
The BFG, is that Mark Rylance playing the BFG?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a mocap thing, yeah. All right, our next match will be the Hateful Eight taking on West Side Story.
Interesting.
Okay. Me first. I have one Spielberg blind spot, and it's because the recent one is West Side Story. I'm just not in a hurry to see it because I don't like the original one. I'm not a musical guy. So, but anybody who knows me knows Hateful Eight is on any given day either 1 or 2 for Spielberg, for Tarantino for me. I love the Hateful Eight. On any given day, it could be my number 1 Tarantino movie. So I'll go Hateful Eight pretty easy.
Yeah, like the Hateful Eight's kind of interesting for me because it's another kind of slow burn movie, and like there's things to love about it, but there's things that I kind of just like a little slow and boring. Like I wish it would kind of get to things already, and like I wish there was kind of a little more happening. I mean, I kind of get the point supposed to be in like one location basically for most of the movie, but like I actually kind of want to give some love to West Side Story just because I'm not a big musical fan and I don't even like the original West Side Story, but I saw this one on a date because that's the only way that I would even consider going to see it. The girl said she wanted to go see it, and I was actually really blown away by it. Like the music's great, the action, the fights stuff between the two rival gangs is actually fun. Like it. Actually, pretty intense when they're like throwing around the gun for one of the songs and stuff. And Ansel Elgort gives a great performance, and so does the actress that plays Maria. She's great too, and also the one that plays Anita too. Like both of those actors gave amazing performances. So I mean, even if you're not a big musical person, I would still suggest checking it out because it's really good and it surprised me. So yeah, I'll vote West Side Story.
All right, Wolfman.
So, Hateful Eight, my first Tarantino movie in theaters because I was a big, I grew to become a big Tarantino fan, like just like around that, like 2014 or so. So this was my first one in theaters. I saw it, and at the time I really liked it, but lately I've been going down on it, and I still like it. There's not one Tarantino movie I dislike. However, this is the worst Tarantino movie for me.
Jesus.
This is to me.
This movie's way better than Death Proof. This movie's way better than Death Proof.
I disagree.
Nothing about Death Proof that's better than
this
movie.
There's one scene of this movie that I feel was so unnecessary, it almost kind of took me out of it. And it's the scene, it's sort of like I'm not going to spoil it for those who haven't seen it, but sort of like almost like a vision type scene, like a flashback or something like that happens with Samuel L. Jackson's character. And that scene to me, like where it goes, and like this was not needed in the film. Like this was completely like there was no point. And then there's just some other stuff in there that it's just I don't know. It feels like I like slow burn, but like we literally are on the music's great. Ennio Morricone's music is fantastic.
Yeah,
we're literally like on a statue for like 10 minutes in the opening scene. Like to me, I'm like, I love me a slow burn, but like I'm like, you could have at least sped it up just a hair more. But West Side Story was one I also saw in theaters, and I was not really excited about it because I was not a fan of the 1960s film. However, I was pleasantly surprised by this, and I think it was one of the best like directed movies that year. Like the musical numbers were excellently directed, the performances were excellent. Rachel Zegler, I'm so excited to see her play Snow White. It's same. Like, but like for me, I am actually gonna give it to West Side Story this time. And I was I know I'm
fucking traitor.
I know I'm a
fucking traitor.
But this is not the worst.
Love them all.
Hey, but the way I'm looking at it is this is not the worst Spielberg film, while The Hateful Eight is the worst Tarantino film. So I'm sorry. I'm still voting on it.
Tarantino's going to unfollow me on social media.
Yeah, Steven.
This is kind of tough. I think both of these movies are in the good but not great category. But I do think I'll probably give the slight edge to The Hateful Eight just because it's more my kind of movie. Even though I do think it takes a little bit of time to get into it, because it doesn't really get really good until we get into the cabin. And plus, I think Samuel Jackson and Walton Goggins are great in this. I almost want to give it to West Side Story just because of how much I love Rachel Zegler in it. but I'm gonna give the slight edge to the Hateful Eight.
And also shout out to Jennifer Jason Leigh for the Hateful Eight. She really surprised me with that
Oscar nominated for that movie. And
Jennifer Jason Leigh is always great. So, not that Walton Goggins and Sam Jackson aren't.
Right.
And speaking of Oscars, can we all agree that while Ennio Morricone's score was great, like it's a travesty that this was his first one and only Oscar win.
It is.
Yeah. You know what? I love his score for the movie Mission to Mars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know he even did that one. Chris.
So I don't get the love for Hateful Eight at all. I was excited for it. It was a new Quentin Tarantino movie. It was painfully slow. Like the cast in this movie is ridiculous, but it was horrible. Like literally the worst Quentin Tarantino movie ever made. And that's saying something because Killing Bill was right up there for me. Yeah. So I haven't seen West Side Story, but just for how much of a pile of garbage the Hateful Eight is, I'm going to give it to the West Side Story.
You guys got to watch your tone while you're on the stream with me.
I'll bet you would like it. I bet you would like West Side Story, Chris. Like, I seriously.
I will absolutely watch the hell out of it, man. I'll be.
That's more the like kind of gangster kind of vibe
that for you to post up.
Like you're, well, like for you, that's more the gangster kind of vibe that like you're kind of into that kind of stuff. So yeah, but Jacob.
I like both these movies. West Side Story was a really good remake. Rachel Zegler, Ariana DeBose, very deserving of her Best Supporting Actress win. And I love that they brought Rita Moreno back and kind of switched that role from the original. I thought that was cool.
Sure.
Just to bring her back, and she was also really good, but. I'm gonna go with the Hateful Eight. I think it's I don't think it's as bad as some people are saying. I think it's really good, really good performances. Incredible score, and I like the way the movie was put together, and so I'll go with the Hateful Eight.
Hey, my boy Aiden's in the chat. What is up? He's like the
hey, what's up, Aiden?
He's like,
well, the Tarantino fan just voted against the Tarantino movie, and now West Side Story is going to move on. So I hope he's proud of that. Because Chris has the tiebreaker, and I know what he's going to vote for.
You get the tiebreaker.
Well, you know what? I am proud of that.
Okay. Gotta love all the people in here that complain about character development. You get a movie that's all character development, and you complain about it. All right, we'll move on.
Well, they should have done more with those characters after they developed.
Well, it's all character development, but no poo-poo on that, but that's okay.
The whole
Aliens and Last Crusade.
Ooh, fudge.
What? This is not fair.
That's how you know it's completely random, because if it was rigged, I would have put Aliens up against the BFG. Instead, it's randomly up against the Last Crusade. So, all right, Jordan.
Well, this one's a little easier because I love the Indiana Jones trilogy. The fourth one is okay. I'm not going to say it's terrible, but it's not quite on par as the other three. But out of the original three, this is the one that I like the least. But they're all kind of neck and neck, and like they're pretty close. But Aliens though, that movie blew me out of the water when I saw it, and like there's so many fun characters, so many just cool moments. There's a lot of tension, and you get some good revenge at the end with "Get Away from Her, You Bitch," like all that stuff. So I gotta go with Aliens, and we got one of the greatest female action stars to like ever be in a movie. So with Sigourney Weaver. So Wolf.
Oof. So both of these movies are close for me. They're both almost neck to neck, but there's something about Last Crusade for me that it's so good, and I think that it's the best Indiana Jones film in my opinion. And this is how they should have ended it. They did the ride off into the sunset. That's the perfect ending. You shouldn't do any more after that. It was a great cap off to that trilogy. So while I love Aliens, I'm gonna give it to Last Crusade.
Yeah, sounds good. Steven.
Man, I hate the randomizer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I like
Well,
Temple
as
of
they say in the Schmodown, that fucking wheel. In
Yeah,
this
yeah.
case, it was a wheel, so that fucking wheel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I like Temple of Doom, and I'm a Crystal Skull defender, but I would have much preferred one of those two to be going up against Aliens than the Last Crusade. I hate that the Last Crusade is probably not going to go through, but I can't not vote for Aliens. So,
Yeah.
heartbreakingly, I'm going with Aliens.
Yeah. Chris.
This is God. I love the Indiana Jones series, except for the last thing, which never should have been made.
Yeah.
But Aliens is just so good, and I mean, the fact that Paul Reiser actually responded to me on Twitter after I saw this freaking movie, it's
nice.
fucking sold. Paul
Nice.
Reiser is one of the greatest villains. That villain in there
He
is
is.
one of the greatest villains.
He's
ever.
one of the great corporate weasels of all time.
Yeah.
That's what he is. He's like the template for a great corporate
Yes.
weasel.
Yeah.
He's amazing in this. God, that movie's so good. Yes. And of course, you can't forget the cute cat.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Well, Paul Reiser does something similar, kind of in Stranger Things. I mean, not exactly, but similar in the same vein. So yeah.
All right, Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob.
Yeah, I really liked both of these movies the first time I watched them. But I loved Aliens the second time I watched it. So I will go with Aliens because I've seen it more.
And G. Austin, what do you?
I wonder what I'm going to vote for when I'm wearing the fucking T-shirt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no. But don't get me wrong. I love Last Crusade. It is my favorite Indiana Jones as well. Like if I ranked them, like the Last Crusade is number one for me. The dynamic between him and Sean Connery is amazing. But it's going up against Aliens. So yeah, that just is what it is. All right.
Yeah.
Let's scroll on down. See what the next matchup is. We have Bridge of Spies versus Hook. Spielberg versus Spielberg. All right.
Yeah, we didn't quite have the post on here, but we had Bridge of Spies was in that same kind of era of like
Same kind of era. Yeah, I think
burn
I only had like one or two
Spielberg.
spots left, so I went with Bridge of Spies. So
Yeah.
it's Tom Hanks. It's Tom Hanks. Whatever. Yeah, so was the post, but whatever.
Yeah.
Same difference. All right, Wolfman.
Yeah, this matchup. No, I'm not saying that about. I'm just saying that like.
That's tough.
Yeah, I'm saying that Bridge of Spies.
Oh, okay.
I really like it. I really like it. I think it's underrated. So I'm going to give it to that because Bridge of Spies, I think it may even be even more forgettable than the post. Maybe like I don't know. It is up there. Like they're both like boring, and Mark Rylance stole Sylvester Stallone's Oscar. So I hate that.
Mark Rylance is so one note in that movie. I could not believe he won the Oscar when I finally saw it. I was like, Sylvester Stallone blew him out of the water for that damn movie.
Yeah.
Like easily. So you're going with Hook, I assume?
What the hell? It was written by the Coen. That feels
so
out of place. What?
Yeah, that does feel out of place.
So I'm assuming Wolf is voting for Hook. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Steven. Just make sure.
So Bridge of Spies is actually one of my few blind spots for Spielberg. And I absolutely love Hook. I think it's criminally underrated. So I'm going to go with Hook.
Yeah. Well, Chris?
So Bridge of Spies is also a blind spot for me. Apparently, it's currently available to watch on Tubi.
Nice.
Hey, our favorite streaming service, Jacob.
Love it.
Yeah. But Hook is criminally underrated. I don't understand the hate for this movie. It's great. So I'm going to go with Hook.
Yeah. Well, Jacob?
Short and simple. Haven't seen Bridge of Spies. Love Hook.
Yeah. Austin?
Yeah, I saw Bridge of Spies when we did our tier ranker Spielberg thing. It was one of my gaps. It's fine. I mean, it's okay. But yeah, it didn't blow me away or anything. But Hook, I've been watching since VHS when I was a kid, and it's just go back and watch that movie just for the practical sets. It's incredible. I mean, you like the huge practical pirate ship. The whole set of the pirates world. All the Lost Boys. Where they live. Like everything's practical and it's incredible. I mean, just go watch it for that. You just don't get stuff like that anymore. And it's really amazing. And the score by John Williams is one of my favorites of his. It's really great. So, yeah, Hook.
Yeah, well, shout out to a friend of the show, Ross Bristow, because Hook is his favorite movie. He'll mess with me about that all the time. And yeah, Bridge of Spies, I haven't seen it all the way through, but it was playing when I worked in a movie theater, and I ducked in a couple of times just to see it a little bit. I'm like, oof, this looks boring as hell, so I'm not coming back to see this even for free. So yeah, I did not, but yeah, Hook is awesome. Like, I love Hook. I always like to shout out my younger brother Aaron had a Hook themed birthday party once because he liked it that much, and yeah, like that, just great performance. I mean, Robin Williams gives an amazing performance in it, and yeah, the score is great. The set pieces, like you guys all said, and Rufio, oh, hey, so yeah.
Well, who knew our first clean sweep of the night would be Hook?
Yeah.
but hey, maybe it'll be a dark horse favorite for the tournament. You never know.
It's actually also just a perfectly cast movie because Dustin Hoffman is.
Rest in peace, Bob Hoskins. He's fantastic.
Julia Roberts and Tinkerbell is great casting.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, scrolling down, we've got The Fabelmans, the new Spielberg movie, versus Jaws. Another Spielberg versus Spielberg. All right. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
we'll down to Steven.
Well, I haven't seen anything that's currently out, so I haven't seen The Fabelmans. Jaws, my top 4 Steven Spielberg movies are very, very close with each other, so it could change in any given day. But I pretty solidly have Jaws as my favorite of Spielberg's, and he's also happens to be my favorite filmmaker, and it's in my top 5 of all time. So Jaws for sure.
All right.
Yeah. Well, Chris.
So I haven't seen The Fabelmans, but I love Jaws. I have the whole Funko Pop run. It's amazing.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, Jaws is incredible.
Yeah.
Jacob.
Yeah, I still haven't seen The Fabelmans either. I'm planning on getting to it pretty soon, but yeah, no, Jaws is an all-timer, so Jaws.
Interesting. It says that it says that The Fabelmans has David Lynch as John Ford. Interesting. Cool.
Bit of a spoiler, I will say. But okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've never seen it, so
thanks.
So I have no idea, but Austin.
Yeah, I have seen The Fabelmans. I did see it. It was a mixed bag for me. I know it's a really personal movie. There's some scenes I really loved in the movie, some things I really didn't like about the movie, namely the Michelle Williams performance really got on my nerves. I thought she's really overacting in the movie. Yet she'll get nominated for an Oscar. I don't know why. I think she's actually actively terrible in that movie, and she kind of kills a lot of the scenes for me. But I mean, there's some good things about it, but it ain't Jaws. Jaws is still, I think, one of Spielberg's, 2 or 3 masterpieces, basically. So, Jaws.
Yeah, well, The Fabelmans will be on our movies tournament. That'll be like movies about movies, like movie making. So yeah, it'll show up there. But I haven't seen it yet. Like I'm trying to get out and see more movies. I actually re-up my Regal Unlimited, but man, like it's just been a really busy month. I had days where I thought I was gonna have time to fit one in. I just didn't. So yeah, and Jaws, like it's one of those movies to me that I've never really seen like one of the greatest movies of all time. I do like it. Like it's probably like for me hovering about a 6 out of 10 for me. That's just where I am personally. But so like I do think that it's good, but so like probably the fact that I haven't seen that The Fabelman plays into the favor of Jaws because I'll vote for Jaws just because I haven't got to The Fabelmans yet. So yeah, Jaws.
So yeah, I got to see The Fabelmans with my mom for her birthday. She loved it, and I did love it at first, and then I just kept on thinking on it. And honestly, that movie is like Belfast this year for me, where it was like extremely like boring and uninteresting. And they like made I get it, the film is about you, but like make yourself a flawed character. Don't make yourself a perfect goody two shoes who can do nothing wrong. And it's like that's pretty much how he made himself in the film, and that really bugged me. But With that said, still a good movie. But Jaws is an all-timer, especially after seeing the 3D re-release that came out. And that, I've seen the film so many times. Haven't really had this reaction. Seeing it in 3D, I literally screamed like a little bitch. When the thing is coming on the ship and jumping out, I screamed out loud. It was man, it was such a perfect way to see it. So yeah, for me, Jaws.
All right.
Yeah.
Jaws. Yeah. All right. Scrolling down, we've got Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Versus Mean Streets.
Hey, both. I never realized this because of the colors and everything. Both kind of similar-ish posters.
Kind of. Yeah. All right, Chris.
So I've never actually seen Mean Streets, but I love Inglourious Bastards, so I got to go with Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah. Jacob.
Yeah, haven't seen either of these. So, but I own one of these, and so that's the one I'm going to vote for. Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah. Sure.
Get on that tonight. It's really good.
Yeah. Well, Austin.
Yeah, I've seen both of these. Mean Streets is okay. It'll show back up in our De Niro Pacino thing because it was him and Scorsese's kind of breakout movie. It's all right. It's watchable. It's definitely a lot of things where you can see where they would take things that they did in this movie and do better things, even in the same decade later. A lot of techniques and stuff. It's interesting to see. It's a very early Scorsese movie, but it's watchable. But yeah, Inglourious Basterds is great. It's still not top 3 Tarantino for me, but I do enjoy it, and I think it's really good. So, Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah, I haven't seen Mean Streets either. That's just one of my Scorsese blind spots in it. And from the synopsis, it sounds like a pretty interesting movie, like one I definitely want to check out at some point for sure. But yeah, I love Inglourious Basterds. It's awesome. Just Brad Pitt just talking about bashing in Nazis and getting scalps and all that stuff. That's a lot of fun. You have Christoph Waltz being like a great villain that really just cares about himself and his own interests and how he can look like the best person that he possibly can, with even though he might have to switch sides to do it. But and then Eli Roth, it's one of the only things I like from him, when he's on screen and not behind the camera. So so I'll vote for Inglourious Basterds. Yeah.
All right, Wolf. I wonder what he's going to vote for.
Yeah.
Well, one of these I actually own the script for.
Wow.
There. And so I have seen both of these. I watched Mean Streets actually in a marathon I did for the first time for Irishman, and it was good. It wasn't great or anything. It's kind of a lower tier Scorsese film for me. But Inglourious Bastards, Brad Pitt says in the film, this might just be my masterpiece. And I say that about Tarantino because this, honestly, Pulp Fiction is my favorite Tarantino film. I guess spoiler for a film coming up. But man,
did I forget something? I forgot to put something in the tournament. I knew I forgot something.
Shoot.
No, I'm kidding.
But honestly, to me, this might be the best Tarantino film. It has such an emotional chord in there, while also just adding so much great tension in there. Like he makes you afraid of milk, all right, and he makes you afraid of the what am I game. I can't play that game now because of him. So the fact he can make you afraid of those things is incredible. And the characters here, everything about this film is just masterful. It's my top 3 Tarantino film for sure. So hands down, I am giving it to Inglourious Basterds.
All right, Mean Streets sounds good. All right, and Steven.
Yeah. No.
Inglourious Basterds is a movie I like, but I don't love. But Mean Streets is one of my blind spots from Scorsese, so I got to go with Inglourious Basterds.
All right.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple of clean sweeps lately. So
And
we'll
also
see.
another great Ennio Morricone score.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right.
That's good.
What's next? We got Empire of the Sun versus The Lost World, Jurassic Park, Spielberg versus
Ooh.
Spielberg.
The Lost
All right.
World. Okay.
The Lost World. Okay. We go to Jacob.
Another easy one because I haven't seen Empire of the Sun, and I think The Lost World is a lot of fun. So I'll go with The Lost World.
Yeah. Well, Austin?
Yeah, I saw Empire of the Sun last year. It's got some really good set pieces. The scene where Christian Bale first loses his parents and kind of the scrum of the war that's going on and some of the stuff with him is good. I don't like the second half of the movie as much and ended up being a little disappointed by the movie, just me personally. So I ended up being kind of lukewarm on it. But I've been a big defender of The Lost World for a long time. I think there's some really great stuff in that movie. I think it's a solid sequel. Is it as good as Jurassic Park? No. But when your standard is platinum, you know what I mean, and you just hit for me gold, still I think it's still good. And I think that RV sequence off the cliff is like one of the best action sequences he's ever directed, period. I think it's great. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Lost World. And rest in peace Pete Postlethwaite, who's awesome in that movie.
Yeah. Well, if you like the RV scene off the cliff, you should read the Michael Crichton book. Like, it's even better in the book. Like, it's like really cool. But yeah, they do it great though in the movie, and yeah, like I do like Empire of the Sun. I think it's great to kind of see some early performances from some people. Christian Bale. You also have Ben Stiller in there, and then like a younger Joey Pants that shows up. John Malkovich is not. I mean, yeah, he's not like young in it, but he's in it. But yeah, The Lost World, I think it is great. Like I like seeing how they go back to the kind of some of the wrecked carnage from the island, and then also I think that stuff with the T-Rex walking around New York City might be the best Godzilla movie I've almost ever seen.
San Diego.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Excuse me, it's San Diego, not New York City, and they're on Isla Sorna, not Isla Nublar, Jordan.
Yeah. Well, there's still a wrecked like carnage, but yeah, that was just kind of like on autopilot, because I know it's San Diego, but yeah, like the scene when the T-Rex walked up to the kid's bedroom, all that stuff, like why don't they ever like do that kind of tension and kind of interesting stuff with the Godzilla movie? They really should, and I think it'd make for a way better Godzilla movie. But so yeah, I'll give it to the Lost World. Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. So.
All right, so I think y'all are all crazy for loving The Lost World as much as y'all do. That film to me is boring.
It's great. I know it's fantastic, and it's not exciting.
That interesting. It loses the kind of the charm of the first one, in my opinion. They make Malcolm a depressed, lonesome, like kind of character when that was not what he was in the first Jurassic Park. And so I'm not really a big fan of it. I think it's got its moments like the T-Rex scene and stuff. I'm not really a big fan of it. So I'm going with what is the better Spielberg film, and that is Empire of the Sun. For sure.
Yeah, sounds good. Steven.
I prefer Jurassic Park 3 even. I should say that.
Ew. No.
Yeah. I love Jurassic Park 3. I think that one's underrated.
Clearly you've never read any of the books, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But
Steven.
Number 3 was atrocious.
I think The Lost World is great when it's on the island. I'm less enamored with it when the action moves to San Diego. That being said, Empire of the Sun is one of my blind spots for Spielberg, so I will still vote for The Lost World.
Yeah. Well, Chris?
So this is one of those things where I have to absolutely separate the books from the movies. Because the books of Jurassic Park and Lost World are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And they pick and choose and do some good things from it. I mean, the movie as it is good. I had fun with it. If I go with that route, it's really, really good. Empire of the Sun was just it's all right. It's not. I don't get the hype for it.
Yeah.
So I guess still go with Lost World, even though the books are 1,000 times better.
All right.
Yeah, that's kind of true. What Aiden says here. Jurassic Park 3 is dumb fun. It's kind of like that. Yeah.
I think it's a 90-minute roller coaster ride. It's fun for what it is.
Yeah.
I agree too.
Year in and year out. It's all right.
And
Yeah.
by the way, I actually saw a Lost World like hardback edition at Barnes and Noble today, and it had like a nice like glossy front cover. I really liked it.
Oh,
like, pretty
oh,
cool.
nice. That's
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed all of the Jurassic Park / World movies to some degree.
Yeah, same. I enjoy every single one.
I love this franchise.
All right. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood versus The Terminator.
What?
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. All right. Go to me first. Okay. This one's fairly easy for me. I like the characters in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Not as big a fan of the actual movie. I think it has a serious lack of story and cohesiveness about it. I'll warm up to it over time, I'm sure. But Terminator is like my favorite Terminator movie, just personal favorite. I may realize that Terminator 2 is more epic in scope and, has greater sequences. I just like the vibe of the first Terminator and how much of a horror movie it is, kind of. And I really dig it. So, and I've watched it way more times than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so I got to go Terminator.
Yeah. There's certain things that I like about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, namely how the movie ends, which I'm not going to say in case people haven't seen it, but I do actually like that. And then also the scene where Brad Pitt shows up in that like kind of trailer park area where there's like the girls that are like maybe being held hostage or like whatever it is, or kidnapped or whatever. But beyond that, the movie's kind of, I don't know, like it's just not that great to me. I don't know. I mean, I like some of the set pieces in the costumes, and I like Leo being like an old timey actor, and like some of the posters you can get of Leo DiCaprio are really cool. I wouldn't mind hanging one of those on my wall of like some of the fake TV shows and things that he was a part of. But Terminator is great. Yeah, like I really like the vibe of it being basically a horror movie almost in it, and yeah, like it's really haunting, and it's where we're kind of introduced to this whole world and a lot of the kind of like groundbreaking special effects and all of that, and yeah, like it works really, really well. Like it's one of those movies that the more that I watch it, the more that I appreciate it. So yeah, like it's like slowly raising for me. So yeah, I will vote for Terminator.
All right, Wolf.
Wolf. Ooh, and you have one of them. Nice. One of the posters. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's muted, by the way.
Oh yeah, you're muted.
Oh
Yeah.
shoot! I was saying a poster like that one, but yeah, for any of y'all who know me, my baby, my prize jewel is this Once Upon a Time in Hollywood Amazon exclusive that comes with a Mad parody, and it comes with the vinyl record here of it, or a vinyl with 2 songs on it, which is
That's sick. Yeah,
which is pretty neat. Yeah, this is what the vinyl looks like here. So, so yeah, I am a big Once Upon a Time in Hollywood fan, and it's interesting because Austin was saying how like he probably has seen Terminator more. Honestly, I might have actually seen this one more, just because like I have seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood now, like God, like countless times, like maybe 9 times. Like sometimes I put it on in the background because it's like one of those kind of movies that I'll put on in the background. It's just like
that's Hateful Eight for me. I put it on all the time in the background.
It's very easy going and everything. And this is like his. I feel like this should have been Tarantino's last movie because this is everything that he loves. This is his ode to Hollywood. This I feel is like Tarantino's kind of like magnum opus. This is everything that he has been working up for, and it even gives you that Tarantino-esque moment there at the end, and it's really great stuff. Some of his best characters in here. I love it. I'm a sucker for movies about making movies, and you know what? I love Terminator as well, but the more I watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like the more it keeps on creeping up in my favorite Tarantino films, and it might be like tied with Inglourious Basterds as his best film. Like this film is really awesome, and yeah, it might have it's got a little bit of a deeper meaning there, but it's might have a little bit of a lack of story, but it's more of like a hangout movie, which I appreciated, and that was also an ode to Hollywood. So, I'm gonna give it to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, we're on the same page as is Aiden. He's gonna vote for that too. So yeah, but Steven?
This would be harder if Once Upon a Time in Hollywood had a stronger last 20 minutes. Because I loved the movie up until then, but it went down for me because of the last 20 minutes. So I will go with. I'll go with the Terminator.
Yeah, Chris. Well, Chris.
So I know I've seen the Terminator, but I feel like I've definitely seen Terminator 2 more. So I feel like I need to rewatch Terminator before I can really make a decision about it. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is absolutely my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie ever made. It blew me away. I did not expect to love this movie, but I loved it so much I went out and bought a copy of it. It's so damn good.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, Jacob.
Yeah, I liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but I don't know. I'm in the minority here on it. It's not. I thought it was really good. I didn't think it was great. If the movie focused on Brad Pitt's character like the entire time, I think I would have loved it because I loved Brad Pitt in the movie. I thought he was incredible. So if it was like his character the entire time, would have loved it. It's hard to outshine Leo these days, but I feel like he does. Personally, for me at least. And I've only seen it the one time though. I've gone back to the Terminator several times. It's a classic, so I'm gonna go with the Terminator.
Yeah.
This is one of those posters that has like an essay on the front. It says, "In the year of darkness, 2027, the rulers of the planet devised the ultimate plan. They would reshape the future by changing the past. The plan required something that felt no pity, no pain, no fear, something unstoppable. They created the Terminator."
Nice.
When movies put the plot synopsis on the poster.
Yeah, you gotta love that.
And you bet I did, Aiden. I've read the book, own it here. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And it actually makes the movie even better after you read the book and then go directly into watching the movie.
Yeah, nice.
I don't like reading. I just watch movies. All right.
I will read when it's my favorite film writer of all time.
I subscribe to Matilda's dad's theory that there's nothing you can't get from a book that you can't get from a movie faster. All right.
Well, I like reading. I just have ADD like majorly, so it's in like 20 minutes at a time.
I haven't bought it yet, but I really want to buy and read Heat 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes, I do want to get Heat 2. By the way, for all of you Tarantino fans, if you're looking for a holiday gift this year, pick up his new book, Cinema Speculation. This is a great one. I've started it,
nice.
and the first opening prologue is sort of a life of young Tarantino watching movies, and it's like the Fabelmans but with Tarantino in the first chat in the first part, and it's really good. And then it's just an ode to all the films of that era. So
something kind of funny like that has nothing to do with this tournament. I'm still trying to read through this book my friend sent me. It's called Baby Don't Hurt Me, the Chris Kattan story. So yeah.
Okay.
Which goes through a few of his movies.
Anyways, getting back to this tournament. All right, let's move on.
It's still on topic. Tarantino.
Yeah.
So
no.
All right, get ready for the book club. Let's move on. All right, we got the Sugarland Express, Spielberg's first theatrical movie, versus Goodfellas. All right. Jordan.
Well, I have not Sugarland Express out of any of these movies is pretty low on my watch list. I just have not seen it or gotten to it. I don't really even know that much about it. But Goodfellas is incredible. It's one of the best gangster movies, if not the best gangster movie ever made. I think there's a pretty good argument to be made, and I do love how you have powerhouses like De Niro and I don't know why I'm spacing on his freaking name.
Joe Pesci?
Yeah, Joe Pesci. Sorry. Yeah,
you mean the guy in Home Alone, your favorite movie of all time?
Well, I had it in my head, and I went to say it, and I'm like, it's not there. So yeah, Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro. You have those powerhouses, but then it focuses on Ray Liotta's character, think that's really cool. Like I really like how they tell his story basically, and then you kind of have these other powerhouse actors surrounding him, and yeah, like it's like even to like some of the like finer details too, like about the sauce, the way that they make the sauce, and like all that stuff, and then like especially like when you get to the like near the end, there's just so much tension too, like the last like 20-30 minutes, it's like really good. So yeah, I gotta go with Goodfellas. Wolf. Yeah, Wolf.
Yeah, so Sugarland Express is another one that is on my watch list of Scorsese, but I never got around to it. It's on Paramount Plus, so I'll check it out here very soon. Because I am interested in checking it out. I mean, I call myself Scorsese fan, and I've watched Boxcar Bertha before I watched this one.
Well, Sugarland is Spielberg, not Scorsese.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was. Oh, all right, I got it wrong. I thought it was Scorsese.
Spielberg's first theatrical movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. First theatrical release. I got it confused, but I haven't seen his first one, Duel, or this. So I need to check out both of them at some point. But Goodfellas, I have seen, and it's my favorite mob film of all time. I think it's a masterpiece, and maybe my favorite of Scorsese. So I will go with Goodfellas.
Yeah, Steven.
Goodfellas is the subject of one of my favorite memes I've ever seen on Facebook. I won't mention why, just because it would be a spoiler, even though I know the movie is like 32 years old.
Yeah.
But I try not to spoil movies even if they're that old. But yeah, I'll go with Goodfellas. Besides, I haven't seen the Sugarland Express.
All right.
Yeah. Chris, what do you think?
So several years ago, I watched Sugarland Express. At the time, it was streaming for free, I think, on Amazon Prime. But it was decent. It wasn't amazing. I mean, but some good performances for sure. But Goodfellas is just iconic. It's an incredible movie. I gotta go with Goodfellas.
Yeah. Well, Jacob.
Yeah, another easy one because I haven't seen the Sugarland Express, so I'll go with Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sugarland's more of a fascinating one to watch. I watched it last year for our tier ranker. It's a solid little thriller with some comedic moments. You can see a lot of the techniques that Spielberg used. It's still a damn good debut film, theatrically for a director. You could tell he already knew what he was doing, and he does it very well. But yeah, he would go on to greater things with Jaws, a year later. So, but yes, Goodfellas maybe Scorsese's best film. Not my personal favorite film of his. It's still like top 3, but it may be his best film. So yeah, Goodfellas pretty easily here. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, while we were going through that, like I had my whole entire family here for the holiday. That like all 5 of my siblings and their kids and stuff, and so I can hear like a literal madhouse going on. Went and locked my door because last time that I didn't do that, I had my nieces and nephews run in and knock over the camera. So yeah.
Which, by the way, also Joe Pesci gave the greatest Oscar speech in Oscars history to Goodfellas. If you go back and watch his Oscar speech, he literally said, "I'm grateful for this honor. Thank you very much," and they were just left.
Oh, really? Nice.
Nice.
He's kind of a private guy.
Yeah.
He seems like, yeah.
Okay. AI, artificial intelligence, and True Lies.
So like I said before, and I haven't gotten around to it still. Some people call me like crazy. I've actually had one person say that to me, like, "Oh my gosh, you what? You're calling yourself a film fan?" Because I haven't seen AI, artificial intelligence. But you know what? I haven't. So that's one of the ones
I think you're fine.
Yeah,
we'll get to my thoughts in a minute, but you're fine. We can wait on that.
But to me, True Lies is one that I think it's it's up there with T2 as like one of the best action movies ever made. Like I think True Lies is fantastic. And I'm waiting for the 4K remaster or even the Blu-ray of this movie. So give me that,
right,
James Cameron. Don't give me 7 Avatar movies. Give me a Blu-ray of this movie. I want this. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with True Lies.
Give me a reason to get rid of my shitty DVD and give me a 4K, for God's sakes. Come on. All right, Stephen.
Yeah.
This is actually hard for me because I think AI is a really, really underrated movie, even though it has gotten some love in recent times. I think people are warming up to it. But I think it's great. But True Lies, I've seen a million times. I remember watching it in theaters with my dad when it came out. And who knew that Schwarzenegger and Tom Arnold would make such a great comedic duo?
Right.
And, the scene where he's chasing the bad guy in the motorcycle on a horse is one of my favorite scenes ever. And it's a great comedy. It's a great action movie. It's, if you ever wondered how Schwarzenegger would ever do as James Bond, I mean, he's awesome in this movie. So yeah, I got to go with True Lies.
All right.
Yeah.
Chris.
I gotta go True Lies as well. I hated AI. I remember seeing it in theaters. It was so damn boring. I just was happy when it finally ended.
Yeah. That's the best part when it was over. Jacob?
I feel like I've seen AI, but it's been so long that I don't really remember anything about it. But I've never seen True Lies, but I've heard nothing but great things about it. So I'll give it to True Lies.
Yeah. Well, awesome.
Yeah, I revisited AI like 2 years ago. I was really interested because I hadn't seen it since the theater. There's things I like about it. There's things I don't like about it. I think the family stuff is kind of the weakest stuff in it, which I feel like is the Spielberg stuff. I like the stuff that's kind of left over from the Kubrick version because for anybody who doesn't know, this was originally going to be a Kubrick movie before he passed away. He had this was like his script and his idea, and Spielberg kind of did it in honor of him and kind of finished it. So I would have liked to see the Kubrick version of this movie.
Okay, but here's the thing. From what I've read, the stuff that people think is the Spielberg stuff was actually from Kubrick, and the stuff that people seem to think it was from Kubrick was actually Spielberg. What Spielberg brought to it. So I don't know which one is.
Well, whatever mess we got, I don't like it because I don't like this movie.
Yeah,
like it's a mashup of shit, like in tones and it's all over the place. And I think there's good ideas in there, but I think the movie's a mess.
You can at me if you want, but Stanley Kubrick is a slightly better director in my opinion. So I would have maybe liked to see that, or at least. He's higher on my personal favorites. But...
He's one of my favorites too, for sure. He's like top 5.
Oh yeah. Jacket. Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Chris, I have a new shirt I'll show off at some point the next time you're on a stream with me. That you're gonna love. All right, Jordan. I'll show it off later.
Yeah. Well,
maybe after the show.
I just have one thing to say about this matchup. AI, you're fired because AI is just creepy and weird and. I'll use that line because it's my favorite, one of my favorite cheesy like Arnold one-liners when he shoots the guy on the rocket at the end of it.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, True Lies is great. Like it's got. I mean, say what you want about the villain. Like they always got to make the villain either like in so many action movies they make it like Middle Eastern or like Russian or something. And also shout out Jamie Lee Curtis, where she's like really sexy in this movie. So yeah, I got to go with True Lies.
Is that all you guys think about?
Basically,
in this
yeah.
movie,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
but in this movie,
We didn't say anything else.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and also too, I really love the tango scene. I'll put on the score from this and just like crank up the
And cry.
the tango music.
I thought you were going to say you put the score on in Tango. I was like, that.
He does tango, actually.
Yeah, right.
There's actually technically 2 tango scenes, but
Yeah.
That's one of my hobbies. Didn't you know that? I can tell you.
All right, guys. We got
Django
Django
King.
Unchained versus Shutter Island.
All right.
All right. And we'll go to Steven first.
okay, I think I know where this is gonna go, So I'm gonna vote for Shutter Island just because it's one of my favorite Scorsese movies, and I think it's phenomenal. I think DiCaprio is phenomenal in this and great. The ending is actually really sad because um, I know some people seem to think that it's kind of ambiguous, but I don't really think it was much ambiguous at all. Actually, I think clearly he realizes that he went crazy and just didn't want to. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Shutter Island.
All right.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, Chris.
As I have not made any surprise of this, and I need to go back and rewatch this movie, but I hate Shutter Island. Oh my god, one of the most painful movies I ever saw in theaters. Right up there with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Bullcrap. Right up there with No Crouching for Old Men.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But not right up there with the masterpiece that is Watchmen, right?
Oh yeah. Right.
No, definitely up there with the Watchmen. Okay, those movies are all just like deserve to go into a pit and set on fire. Django Unchained is a freaking masterpiece, though. Yeah, absolutely Django Unchained.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Shutter Island is really good. Leonardo DiCaprio gives a good performance, but Django is, I say my favorite Tarantino movie, but I've only seen half his filmography. But still, it's my favorite of his. It's one of my favorite movies. Period. It gets better every time I watch it. Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, and Leonardo DiCaprio are just all great together. And Samuel L. Jackson and Kerry Washington as well. I think everybody just gives stellar performances in this movie. It gets better every time I watch it. Creeps up my favorites list every time I watch it. So, Django.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had it in my top 10 when we swapped top 10s, Jacob. And yeah,
You did.
There's a reason for that. I love this movie so much. I've watched it so many times since it's come out. And like I said, it kind of bounces between this and Hateful Eight on Any Given Day, which is my favorite Tarantino. But I truly think this is his masterpiece. I think it's fantastic all around. Every performance is top notch. Writing's great. And I think it's top 2 or 3 Leo DiCaprio performances. I think he's so good as Calvin Candy. So, yeah, Django Unchained pretty easy for me. But I like Shutter Island overall.
Yeah. So, Django Unchained was a movie that like made me think when I saw it, like, why haven't I not been seeing every Tarantino movie opening day when they come out? Because like they deserve that. Like at least for me, like I'm always so hyped on it. But I was late to a lot of Tarantino movies because I grew up in a house where we didn't watch a lot of R-rated movies, so I had to go back and rediscover some of his older, or well, not rediscover, discover for the first time because I didn't get to see him in theaters, and I wish that I had. So, but yeah, and yeah, like it's probably in my top 3 Tarantino movies. It's just so good. I mean, yeah, just like Leo, like I think like this is one like might be my favorite performance he's ever given. Like it's so good with Calvin Candy and then Sam Jackson. He's great in it, and then Christoph Waltz, all of them, and Jamie Foxx is a great hero in it. So yeah, it's a great movie, and Chris, I'm kind of with you with Shutter Island. Maybe I don't hate it as much as you do, but I like the moment when they reveal some certain things in the movie. It just took me out of it completely. I'm like, what the F are we doing? That like this whole movie seems like a waste of my time. Why did I even bother watching this? So yeah, I'm gonna go with Django pretty easily. So, but Wolf.
Well, I don't feel that way. I feel Shutter Island is the most underrated Scorsese film. I think this film is really, really good. Does not get enough because it's fantastic. The mystery is fantastic. I think the performances are all fantastic.
I'll mute myself.
It's I think it's a great film. It's certainly better than like Hugo and some of the other ones that Scorsese's done. But for me though, that being said, Django Unchained might just be the greatest Western of all time. It goes back and forth between that and Tombstone. But it might just be the greatest Western of all time. I loved it, and Christoph Waltz as
Dr. King Schultz.
Dr. King Schultz. I can't believe I was actually thinking on it. As Dr. King Schultz was, I was going to say Hans Landa. I was like, I know it's but as Dr. King Schultz is actually my favorite Tarantino character because he's just so like calming and kind, and then all of a sudden he can be so vicious in a split second. Like I love it. He won the Oscar back to back for this as well. And I understand that like he was nominated, but like you could have nominated both him and Leonardo DiCaprio because both of them were excellent. This film is definitely my top 3 Tarantino flicks. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Django.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Django.
I was actually rooting for Robert De Niro to win that year, but I was happy about Christoph Waltz winning too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was De Niro in that year?
Silver Linings Playbook.
Oh yeah, he was nominated for that? Okay. Yeah. I don't remember him being nominated for that for some reason.
Well, we'll see that in the Pacino De Niro tournament. All right, we got Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, because Tarantino considers it one movie, so I put it as one movie for this tournament. So Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair versus The Last Temptation of Christ, Scorsese.
All right.
Chris.
Oh, here we go.
Why?
I know you have a very hot take here. Yeah.
I don't have any interest in The Last Temptation of Christ. It kind of looks like Truman Capote's in True Blood. Not that I should compare like what Jesus went through and everything else. But like I don't get it. But Kill Bill got it. Even as much as I hate Kill Bill, I guess the soundtrack is pretty good. I mean, so God, you know what? Never mind. I'm gonna go with the Last Temptation of Christ because I can't in good conscience vote for Kill Bill.
Oh man, you're killing me, Chris. but Jacob.
One of my biggest blind spots is Kill Bill, even though I own both of them. I just haven't turned them on yet. I haven't seen The Last Temptation of Christ either. Which one would I probably watch first? Probably Kill Bill. So I'll go with that one.
Yeah. Well, awesome.
Yeah, I watched Last Temptation of Christ for the first time probably 3 or 4 months ago. And yeah, it's a fascinating movie. It's definitely interesting as far as, his take on Jesus and literally him being tempted into another life and stuff. And it's really interesting. So I do recommend it just as a fascinating movie. But yeah, I really like Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. And yeah, they're 2 kind of different movies, but to get you watching back to back, and they're great. And I kind of wish we could get The Whole Bloody Affair on like a 4K or something. I think it'd be great, all kind of mashed together into one cut. So hopefully we'll get that someday, maybe someday. So yeah, I'll vote for Kill Bill.
Yeah. Well, I've never seen the Last Temptation of Christ, but the thing I always remember is the Chris Farley show when he has Martin Scorsese on there. And he's like, so you directed Last Temptation of Christ. That was awesome. And it's like, I've never seen
what's that based on? He's like, that's based on a book, right? He's like, yeah, it's the Bible. It's the New Testament.
It's the Bible. Yeah, it's the New Testament. Yeah, it's based on a book. Yeah. Yeah. It's classic. But Chris, I thought you were an a fan of like anime and like kung fu stuff because like Kill Bill is like based on all of that. It's freaking.
I am, but I just didn't like the writing, especially Kill Bill 2 lost to me. Like the over the top, just like ridiculousness. I didn't like it at all. I just thought it got really stupid really fast.
You're not gonna like what I have to say.
Yeah. Well,
I know you love Kill Bill. It's the greatest movie ever made.
Yeah. Well, I think that like Kill Bill being over the top was kind of the point of it, like to be this kind of bombastic over the top, very stylized kind of thing. But for me, like it really worked. Like especially Volume 1. Like I'm a bigger fan of Volume 1, but I like Volume 2 also. But man, that fight scene though, when at the end of Volume 1 is just so good, and Uma Thurman just kills it in Part 1 and Part 2.
I think he
And
did there.
yeah. Unintentional, but yeah, and but yeah, like even like the little fight scene at the beginning that she has, like in the house, it is fun, and then yeah, like usually I don't like when things are just like they have over the top blood and gore for just like seemingly no reason. For this, like I just kind of thought of it almost more like a comic book movie. Is like kind of how I kind of looked at it, and also like maybe like a manga too, like because it's like based on a lot of Japanese kind of things, and like the way that they actually meets the sword maker, and man, there's just so many just great, like amazing things. Kill Bill is probably in my top 3 Quentin Tarantino movies. And I was late to it too. I didn't see it until about 6 or 7 months ago for the first time, and man, I absolutely love this movie. I've already watched it about 4 times since then. Like it's that good. So yeah, Kill Bill for me. Wolf.
So yeah, first off, I want to just say The Last Temptation of Christ. Definitely different from the Bible version, but it was still to me it's so interesting. The greatest like Christian movies of all time, even if you're like basing it off source material, like Noah, is like totally not the story of Noah in the Bible. Yet that is like way better than any Christian like film, like a lot of the Christian films out there. So it's interesting that it's like this. It's the same way with Last Temptation of Christ. However, yeah, I love Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair. Kill Bill Volume 1, that fun kind of bombastic thing, and then I don't understand how Chris thinks the second one's over the top, because the second one is more of your like slow burn,
it's the way more grounded one actually.
Yeah,
Western, more
yeah,
grounded, more like, especially the third act. To me, the last like scene of Kill Bill Volume 2 in the house with Bill and Uma Thurman, to me is the single greatest thing Tarantino's ever written. Whenever he's comparing life to like a fish flapping on a carpet, like whenever he's doing, it's like there's so much poetic stuff in that scene.
Yeah,
and just the dialogue, like it is insanely good. And then especially like if she would have like cut off his head and went like that, it would have been over the top. Like it was literally just a like this to the heart, and then he was dead. And it was just like a way of like a more of a mind game between them. And I thought that made it more grounded and serious. So for me, I actually slightly prefer Part 2, but both are pretty much almost even. So Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair, and actually there is, to answer your question, Austin, I do want an actual official released one, but there are like bootlegged Blu-rays or whatever that you can buy, like stuff that's like on eBay or stuff like that. That is the whole bloody affair. So I've seen them online before. So
all right,
nice, Steven.
Yeah, so The Last Temptation of Christ is another blind spot for me as far as Scorsese goes. And even though I do consider both Kill Bill movies to be separate movies, just because I think stylistically and tonally they are very different. But I love both of them, so yeah, I'll go with Kill Bill.
Yeah, so it'll be Kill Bill.
All right. I think this might be the last one on this side. We'll see. Avatar: The Way of Water, the most recent Avatar, versus Saving Private Ryan.
Excited to talk about.
Yeah. All right. So we go with Jacob first.
Yeah, I haven't.
I was going to say, if you've seen it, which I know you haven't, Jacob was going to say keep it spoiler free, but yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I haven't seen The Way of Water. I haven't seen the first Avatar. I need to get to that one too, because I've heard good things, like visually. So I kind of want to check them out. But Saving Private Ryan is one I was really late to. I'm talking like within the last couple of years. And I'm just disappointed in myself for waiting so long, because I think it's really good. One of the best war movies out there. So Saving Private Ryan will get my vote.
Yeah. Well, Oscar.
Yeah, I did see The Way of Water this past week. I do think it's actually better than the original one, but I'm not super high on the original one, so that's not saying a ton. But I do think there's a lot of good things in the movie. I think it has a great first act, great last act, and a really long, slow second act. That's kind of a slog, but once you get to the last act, I think it's really good James Cameron action that he does very, very well, and of course it looks great. But even said that, I'm still going to go Saving Private Ryan, the movie that should have won Best Picture that year over Shakespeare in Love. So
yeah. Well,
Is Malcolm still in the chat?
yeah, I know he disagrees, but yeah, I disagree strongly. I think that's a way more cinematic achievement than Shakespeare in Love.
Oh yeah, way
more. Yeah,
Shakespeare in Love's boring. I'm sorry, but
we just let people like what they like, guys.
Yeah.
If
you like it, then you can have your own opinion, and we'll have ours. So.
You can have your favorite movie.
Yeah, but yeah, so like I'm pretty fresh off of Avatar. I just saw it today, and I won't give any spoilers, but I do think the movie's too long. I think that like 3 hours is just too long. Yeah, that second act, and even to the degree the first act almost are just kind of like a slog to get through. But the third act, holy crap, is that good? Like I wasn't a big fan of the first movie. The third act to me, like a lot of it that almost feels like the movie Aliens. Like it has that kind of vibe to it. Like it's just just so good and like so much fun. And I never thought that I would say that about an Aliens movie. Like I was getting emotional for these blue creatures, and I was like, why do I even I'll give a crap about these weird blue alien creatures? But you do end up really caring for the characters, and like there's one thing, I'm not going to say what it is, but there's one thing that's near the end that kind of like pissed me off just a little bit, though. I will say that I was like, oh, they did that, but it is what it is. But so yeah, I had fun with it. And Saving Private Ryan's great. Like it's one of those movies where like growing up I wasn't able to really watch very many, well, like really any R-rated movies, but it's the first R-rated movie I remember my mom coming in and like handing to us, and she's like you guys need to watch this movie. Like it's really, really good. And I think that it's an important movie for you to see, to kind of understand some of these things. And so, yeah, I think it's good, but you know what? Like it might be a recency bias, but I think I'm going to give some love to Avatar: The Way of Water, just because I doubt enough people have seen it for it to go through, but I'll vote for it. So, but Wolf, what do you think?
Yeah, so Avatar: The Way of Water was my birthday movie. I watched this on December 19th for my birthday. In 3D, I am going to rewatch in 40X. The 40X screening didn't work out, unfortunately, for me and my friends, but we did go see it. But we did get
would have been awesome.
We did get to go see it in 3D though, so I will go back to see it in that format. But to me, honestly, and this is spoiler free, I will say that has potential, maybe up there with like War for the Planet of the Apes and Mad Max Fury Road and like a few others, and like Blade Runner 2049. It's like this might be like the most visually stunning movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, visually
life.
Stunning, absolutely.
Like the 60 frames per second were like noticeable at first, but then as it goes along, you're just immersed in this world, and it was so visually jaw-dropping. So yeah, I loved Avatar: The Way of Water, and Saving Private Ryan is arguably the greatest war movie ever created. Maybe between that and Thin Red Line. But it's
Apocalypse Now. Apocalypse Now. Apocalypse Now.
That's number 3. You're right. That's number 3. And as far as war movies go, and then yeah, but I do love it. But you know what? While I obviously think it's an all-timer, I think it's better. Everything like that. I also wanted this because I know where this is going. I do want to show some love to Avatar: The Way of Water, and I will give it that.
Steven?
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, Steven.
Yeah, so I haven't gotten around to seeing Avatar: Way of Water yet, and Saving Private Ryan is a masterpiece, so I will go with Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. Well, Chris?
So I have not seen the new Avatar movie. I definitely want to, but Saving Private Ryan's incredible. So I'm going to go with Saving Private Ryan.
All right.
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, we're Saving Private Ryan. Okay. But like, even if you you were even lukewarm on the first one, or you didn't like Avatar,
I loved it.
See it.
I loved the first one. So
yeah. I didn't, and then I still loved it.
So we're making decent time, but we probably got to pick up the pace just a notch or so.
Yeah,
so let's pick up the pace just a notch. So you guys try to keep it to 30 seconds, please. Or I will message Jordan to hit the Today Junior clip.
Yeah. Right.
All right.
Yeah, don't say
And I know you don't want to hear that too much, but I will.
Yeah, I'll know you with some Billy Madison
Yes.
clip.
Please.
I'll play every clip I have if you go to.
All right.
No, I will. I will.
All right. So if you don't want to hear that, let's keep it succinct. All right. The Age of Innocence.
Well, now you're
versus
gonna make me
Raging
go.
Bull.
Yeah.
All right. I'm up first. So I actually watched Age of Innocence today. Wish I hadn't. It's period piece drama bullshit that I fucking hate. It's like 1870s people with going to dinners and balls and shit. And it's everything I've said I hated about that subgenre. It's well shot and well acted as it is a Scorsese movie, but the superior Scorsese movie is easily Raging Bull. It's a great movie, and the Criterion 4K looks great. So Raging Bull.
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup because, like, I had no idea what the Age of Innocence even was, let alone who even directed it until you just said Scorsese. But so yeah, I don't really know anything about it. But Raging Bull is for me, like, it's kind of a hard movie to watch because it's so visceral and so just kind of like I don't know, like the way that the fight scenes are, they're a lot more realistic than a lot of other boxing movies, and like also I don't like seeing things where like people are just beating on women and like talking down to them and all that stuff. It's just kind of harder for me to watch, even though like I know that's kind of like what the character's supposed to be and stuff, but it just kind of gets me. But I do like seeing De Niro and Joe Pesci in a movie together. And I mean, normally I probably wouldn't vote for Raging Bull personally, but I've never seen The Age of Innocence, so I'll give it to Raging Bull.
Wolf.
So yeah, Wolf.
And speaking of The Age of Innocence and T&D list, how come? And I agree. I think this movie is fantastic too. But how come you like Phantom Thread and that's period piece, Austin, but then you don't like something like?
Because they're not like going to balls and wearing powdered wigs and like doing all that bullshit and wearing those stupid dresses and like doing all that. That's literally like the first hour of that movie is that dumb shit that I hate about period piece fucking dramas. And the Phantom Thread is just him like sitting in a room making dresses and shitting on people every time they interrupt him, and it's kind of funny. So like that's why I kind of like that movie. And Age of Innocence is just like, oh, thou art come with me to the ball and fuck off. Like that's just I hate that shit. Like I hate that. And he fucking gives up. He cheats on Winona Ryder for Michelle Pfeiffer. That's a mistake. Sorry.
Michelle Pfeiffer is amazing. Come on now.
But that is a mistake.
That's a mistake. Sorry,
that's
a mistake.
I would choose Michelle Pfeiffer over Winona Ryder.
Cheating is always a mistake, guys.
Yeah. No.
Well, then when I do my top 64, you're not going to like it if you have to see Barry Lyndon because that's
I've seen Barry Lyndon because we ranked Kubrick and I watched it for the first time. I fucking hated that movie too. So Wolf, I own it. It's on Criterion right here. I own it. I watched it. I don't like it.
Aww. Aren't you pretentious?
Those movies are pretentious. Fuck them.
Age of Innocence, I thought it was really well done, and I watched it for the first time recently, and I really liked it. The Raging Bull is one of the best like boxing movies ever created. One of the best films. However, just because I know no one else is going to vote for it, I do want to show some love to Age of Innocence because I'm not as much of a snob on period pieces. So I'm going to I'll give my vote to Age of Innocence.
All right, Steven.
So Raging Bull is not my biggest hot take when it comes to Scorsese movies, but I will say Raging Bull is one of those movies that I respect it. I acknowledge it's an exceedingly well-made, well-acted movie, but it's just not a movie that I loved, and it's not one of his movies I go back to. I saw it once, and it's a good movie, but once is all I needed from it. But that being said, I haven't seen The Age of Innocence, so I will still vote for Raging Bull.
All right. And Chris?
So Raging Bull is one of those weird ones for me. It's like I like it, but I don't love it. Like as like kind of what you said. Like I think it's good, but I don't think it's the masterpiece that everyone makes it out to be. But I don't hate period pieces. So actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with Age of Innocence too.
Okay.
This is Age of Innocence 1.
Yeah. All right.
Well, the Age
The
of
first
Innocence.
one. Yeah. Well, Jacob.
I haven't seen The Age of Innocence. I really like Raging Bull. Yeah, I've only seen it the one time though. I haven't felt the want to go back and rewatch it. But no, the performances were all good. Like I think it was full of incredible performances. But I think just like the subject matter, like some of it's just a little touchy for me. So but I still think it's a really good movie. So Raging Bull.
Well, Aiden likes the Barry Lyndon stuff, I guess. So.
Good for you.
Yeah. Good
All
for
right,
you.
got Lincoln versus Jurassic Park. Spielberg and Spielberg.
That's why he's my number one fan on YouTube, because he likes Barry Lyndon.
Yeah.
The best Kubrick movie.
I'd rather watch Jack Frost. All right.
The Michael Keaton one.
No, the one we just drank to.
Yeah.
All right, Jordan. Jurassic Park and Lincoln.
Yeah, like I went into Lincoln with such high hopes, and man, was that movie boring as hell. Like it was just a snooze fest to me. Like I just didn't really care. I mean, I liked some of the performances though. Like Daniel Day-Lewis like is Lincoln in this movie. He is Abraham Lincoln. Like he transforms into that. So there's that. And then like just seeing some of the people that pop up, like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Tommy Lee Jones, like just some of those other actors, even Sally Field from being Mary Todd. But yeah, Jurassic Park is my third favorite movie ever made. Period. End of story. It's just that good. I mean, and like, what can you say that hasn't already been said about Jurassic Park? I mean, it's freaking like dinosaurs ripping people's heads off with great character development all around it, and yeah, like, and it's a thrill ride. It's groundbreaking special effects that still hold up to this day. So yeah, Jurassic Park.
Wolf.
So
so Lincoln is a good movie, but it's not one that is like I go back to. It's not really one I love per se, but I love Jurassic Park, and I will say I do love Daniel Day-Lewis's performance as Abraham Lincoln. I thought he transformed so much that you didn't even know that was couldn't even tell that was Daniel Day-Lewis. And so it was a really, really great performance. But Jurassic Park is my favorite Spielberg film of all time. I think this film is it has such a special place in my heart, the nostalgia, but also it's just so much fun. And I rewatched it in theaters again recently, and it's just like it's so good. So yeah, Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Steve.
Because I think I know where this is gonna go. Obviously, I'll show some love to Lincoln because I think Lincoln is great.
Sure, yeah. Well, Chris.
I love Lincoln. I think it was an amazing film, but Jurassic Park is incredible. That's an easy vote for me.
Yeah. Well, Jacob.
I prefer when my Abraham Lincoln hunts a vampire.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Same here. Yeah.
That movie's fun. Abraham Lincoln Vampire. I'll defend it to this day.
It's a fun one.
It is. Yeah, it's
such
fun.
a good book too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
He's got it too.
Exactly.
I need that movie.
Yeah, Lincoln's a good movie with great performances. I do think it's Tommy Lee Jones' best performance probably in the last 10 years. He's actually alive in that movie and gives a shit. But but yeah, it's a pretty easy Jurassic Park. I mean, y'all voted it as my favorite movie in that tournament. So yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that. All right.
It is funny because because Tommy Lee Jones always looks half dead in all his movies, and he actually is alive in this one.
Well, we're eventually. I told Jordan we're going to do the Battle of the Grumpy Old Men tournament versus. We're going to do Clint Eastwood versus Tommy Lee Jones. So
yeah,
so that'll be interesting.
I just realized too the finals of this tournament could be both of Spielberg's 93 movies.
It could be. Could be.
Oh,
Could be Schindler versus Jurassic Park if it goes that way. Yeah, it
Yeah.
could be. All right. We got War of the Worlds versus Bringing Out the Dead. All right. Wolfman.
yeah. So Bring Out the Dead was one of the ones I wanted to catch up on for this, but I didn't have the time. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. But War of the Worlds, I remember seeing that in theaters when a long time ago when it opened, and I loved it, and I revisit it, and yeah, I think it's really, really fun. It kind of loses steam once you get to Tim Robbins. Not my blood, not my blood. It kind of loses steam a bit once you get there, but I think everything beforehand is really captivating, and yeah, I like War of the Worlds. So War of the Worlds.
Yeah, Steven?
So War of the Worlds is a movie that has great set pieces, but the movie itself is good but not great. It should be told, and this says more about how strong Spielberg's filmography is, to me at least, that I think it's a decent movie, but it's one of his lesser efforts. Bringing Out the Dead is probably Scorsese's most underrated movie, and it's absolutely one of my favorite movies of his. So I will quite easily go with Bringing Out the Dead.
All right.
Yeah.
So I can't say I've ever actually seen it Bringing Out the Dead, but it is on HBO Max, so I'll have to check it out for sure. But yeah, War of the Worlds was okay, but it wasn't the broadcast. It wasn't. It was bad. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Bringing Out the Dead for that reason.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen either of these, but Bringing Out the Dead has Nicolas Cage in it, so that's going to get my vote.
Sure, yeah. Well, awesome.
Yeah, I do recommend Bringing Out the Dead. I saw it for the first time this past year, and yeah, it's really good. It's Nick Cage as this ambulance driver with John Goodman, and like it's got some really interesting stuff in it, and yeah, it's really underrated and underseen. I do recommend it, but I'm like Wolf. I love War of the Worlds. I love almost everything about it. That first 2/3 of that movie is so intense. I think it's some of the best tension Spielberg's done in a long time. It's really the last Spielberg movie, even to this day, that blew me away of his. So that's 2005. So that's saying something. But yeah, love me some more of the world. So go with that.
Yeah, so I actually watched Bringing Out the Dead because Austin recommended it. That check it out. And like, what a weird movie! Like the movie's kind of like I don't know. I don't really know what to think. I like parts of it, kind of. I don't know. Like I think it's a kind of a weird role for Nick Cage. He's just being a real kind of like super serious, kind of brooding, kind of this ambulance driver, and then John Goodman kind of being more of the kind of lighthearted guy.
Have you not seen Nicolas Cage be serious before?
Well, I've seen it before. Yeah, I just thought that it just kind of I don't know, was a little just different in this movie. I don't know, but then and also too the movie looks really washed out. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, like it's supposed to have that kind of like kind of like filter on it that looks really washed out. I don't know, but to make it kind of look kind of old timey or something like that. But yeah, so I was kind of lukewarm on it. I'm kind of like a 50-50, like a 5 out of 10. But and then War of the Worlds, like it was fine too. Like I'm almost kind of like on a 5 out of 10 also. I mean, probably a little higher, maybe 6 out of 10 on it. Like I think that a lot of things to love in it, and it has great set pieces. But yeah, like I remember every time Dakota Fanning would scream and give me a freaking migraine headache all over again. Every time she would scream so many times in the movie over and over. But the movie's good, and I liked it probably better than Bringing Out the Dead. But like honestly though, I prefer the original War of the Worlds. We watched it for our alien invasion tournament fights, and it's actually really good. The one from the 50s, like it's one of the like like better old school alien movies. So yeah, but I'll go for War of the Worlds here.
All right, well, we have our first tie in a while, and it goes to Jacob Barber.
Oh, I'll stick with Bringing Out the Dead.
Wow.
Wow.
All right.
Some would consider that an upset.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think so.
I would.
Pleasantly surprised upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right, I've got Ready Player One and After Hours.
All right.
All right, Steven.
I haven't seen After Hours. Ready Player One is definitely, in my opinion, one of Spielberg's lesser movies. It's all right. It's decent enough that I'll still vote for it. It's because it's not bad. But I am kind of lukewarm on it. It's definitely one of a lesser Spielberg. But yeah, since I've seen it, I'll still vote for it.
Yeah.
Chris.
Well, Chris, what do you think?
So I have never seen After Hours, but I absolutely loved Ready Player One. It was incredible. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Ready Player One.
Yeah. Jacob?
Yeah, I haven't seen After Hours. I had some fun with Ready Player One. I don't know if it's one that I'll go back to very often, but since I've seen it and I liked it, I'll give it a vote.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm very lukewarm on Ready Player One. I'm usually not that guy, but I'll say that the book is way better than the movie because it is. I think that movie is one big bowl of member berry soup, pretty much. Remember RoboCop? Remember Chucky? Remember the DeLorean? Remember King Kong? Yeah, that's what that whole movie is.
It's Easter egg, the movie. Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. It's amazing.
After Hours,
the movie, the sequel, Space Jam 2,
is a great One Crazy Night movie. It's just about this dude who's just trying to get the fuck home, on New York and just can't do it, and everything that gets in his way to do it. And it's a great One Crazy Night movie, and I love those movies. So I'll go After Hours. It's really underrated.
Yeah. I feel like I've maybe seen After Hours, but like I just don't remember like that much about it. So like I'm kind of like tempted to say that I haven't really seen it. I remember like part of it, like some scenes, like he can't pay for his cab ride and like stuff like that. But
John Hurd from Home Alone plays the bartender who he has to watch the keys from. Like Cheech and Chong show up actually. Yeah,
I freaking love John Hurd. Yeah, rest in peace. But yeah, and so probably After Hours. If I would have had time to squeeze in one more movie from the tournament, that would have been it. But I just didn't quite have enough time. So, but I had a lot of fun with Ready Player One. I mean, I didn't love it from beginning to end, but I loved all the Easter egg stuff. The fun movie to just watch multiple times and just see how many things you can pick out from pop culture and like all the little things in the background, because it's just the imagination of Steven Spielberg and the imagination of like what's in the main guy's head, and as he just goes into this world, and then also I really like it for all the Shining stuff that they do kind of near the end too. Like all of that's a lot of fun too. So I don't love all of it, but I haven't seen After Hours, and I do still really like Ready Player One. So I'll vote for Ready Player One. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ready Player One. There's way too much going on in that damn movie. Way too much going on in that movie. Like, I get that you want to have fun Easter eggs. I get that you want to have all that stuff, but like, don't throw it at me every 5 seconds. Like, let me breathe. Let me actually have a story. Let me actually have stuff like that. It's like don't just be like, oh, fan service. It reminded me of that episode of Mandalorian. It was like in the first season where it's like, oh, Tatooine, you remember Tatooine?
I'll be one of those kids.
Or it's like, oh, remember
that series is
it's
phenomenal.
Like,
You're just hating it for no reason.
There was an episode, I forget what episode. It was like the Bounty Hunter episode, and that in season 1 it was like that was literally fan service for the sake of fan service, and Ready Player One is fan service for the sake of fan service. So yeah, I mean, it's got great visuals. I'll give it that, but that's all it's got really going for it. While After Hours, I watched for the first time recently for Martin Scorsese's birthday, and it's actually phenomenal. This film is like top 10 Martin Scorsese films. Like this film is fantastic. It is again, it's like that crazy one night movie, but it's like there's so much like stuff that happens in this movie that is hilarious that you don't think would normally happen, like the paper mache scene. Yeah. Oh my god, that was so good. So yeah, I gotta go with After Hours here.
Well, fan service for the sake of fan service. You want to talk about the Rise of Skywalker? That's fan service right there. But
so After Hours is apparently not available on Blu-ray or 4K.
Wow, this is y'all are insane for pushing Ready Player One in over After Hours. Watch After Hours, people, because it's.
We just haven't.
Where can I watch it? It's not streaming.
It's on Paramount.
Actually, it is. It's on Showtime.
I don't have Showtime app. I don't have Showtime.
No. Well, might be a reason to get it.
Is it not like on VOD to rent or anything?
You can rent it and stuff. Yeah, I bought it on Vudu. That's where I bought it.
Yeah. So you can rent it. It's worth the money to do that.
Yeah.
It's great.
What do we have next?
All right. Next is Catch Me If You Can versus Close Encounters. Spielberg again.
Ooh.
All right.
Oh, I like this match.
All right, Chris.
I am not as huge on Close Encounters Third Kind as everybody else is, but I freaking love Catch Me If You Can. The movie's incredible, so I'm going to go with Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah. Jacob?
Yeah, Close Encounters is another big blind spot of mine. And Catch Me If You Can was for a long time as well, but I finally got around to it a few months ago, and Tom Hanks and Leonardo DiCaprio, I think, were really, really great in that. I like the story, so I'll go with Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah. Austin?
Yeah, I like Close Encounters. I don't love Close Encounters. Like a lot of things about it. Some of the scenes are really great. It's growing on me, but it's not one of the ones I go back to a lot. But yeah, I really did Catch Me If You Can. Just got the new Steelbook Blu-ray that just came out.
Ooh,
really, really nice. Yeah, that's really good. And oddly enough, it's the one Spielberg movie that feels like a Scorsese movie. So I'll go Catch Me If You Can. It really does.
Yeah, you're kind of right. Yeah, like it is a Spielberg movie that feels like a Scorsese movie, But I actually really like Close Encounters. I saw it a couple years back for the first time. I was pretty late to it, but I think Richard Dreyfuss gives an outstanding performance in it, though. Like I'll shout out him and Catch Me If You Can, though, is probably like one of my favorite Spielberg movies. It's just so good, and I think that Leo and Tom Hanks kind of play good opposites of each other, and it's a fun kind of cat and mouse game, and like it's just like kind of mind blowing to think that that's based on a true story of this like Frank Abagnale guy that just like duped everyone in so many different ways. And I always tell people that if you haven't seen it, also go look up the sequence from The Simpsons where they spoof the opening credits from Catch Me If You Can. Like it's a lot of fun, like really cool animation. But yeah, I'll vote Catch Me If You Can.
Okay. Yeah, Wolf.
So yeah, this is a good matchup because both these films are like almost on the same level for me. But I think I'm gonna also go with Catch Me If You Can. I really enjoy that movie.
Just throw that comment up there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Steven?
I like this matchup because it's easy, because I think Close Encounters of the Third Kind is overrated, and I love Catch Me If You Can, so Catch Me If You Can.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, a clean sweep. I didn't expect it to be a clean sweep, but it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Catch Me If You Can could be another dark horse in the tournament that can make it pretty far. We'll see.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. We'll see what it's up against later. But all right, we got The Color of Money against Temple of Doom.
Ooh.
And Color of Money, for anybody who wants to know, is basically the sequel to The Hustler with Paul Newman and Tom Cruise.
So basically, yeah. I'm pretty sure it is.
It pretty much is, yeah. But I mean, like, it's. Yeah,
they didn't really market it that way.
Yeah, they didn't really market it that way, but it is because he's
Paul Newman playing.
Yeah, no, it is. But it's kind of underseen. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. Jacob.
Another easy one. Haven't seen The Color of Money, so I'll go with Indiana Jones. It's one that I just came to for the first time because we were doing a Director Blind Spots episode. Austin and I were, and I'm Another one that I'm disappointed in myself for waiting for so long because it was great. I loved it.
Well, at least we don't have Richie on here. He's seen no Indiana Jones movies.
So I don't know why he's got
right, and he has the audacity to get on to me about not seeing movies.
But he hasn't seen any of the
Yeah,
Indiana
right.
Jones movies.
The nerve of some people.
Yeah,
right.
come on. But Austin?
Yeah, I saw Color of Money for the first time probably a year or two ago. I don't know why it took me so long to get around to it because I like The Hustler. I'm a big Paul Newman fan. And I like him in this movie. I don't like Tom Cruise's character in this movie, like, at all. And it kind of hurt the movie really badly because he's very unlikable. I know he's kind of supposed to be, but I just preferred the scenes where Paul Newman was kind of showing him what's up and showing him up and making a little bitch out of him. The best side of this movie. But, yeah, I'll go Temple of Doom. I'm a big defender of it. And Wolf, if you're gonna rap presents, make sure you mute your mic. All right, Temple of Doom.
Sorry.
Yeah. Trying to wrap it up.
Yeah.
But yeah. As I've seen it, the Color of Money, it's just been a really long time since I've seen it, but I do remember bits and pieces. But I think that Paul Newman's great in it. Like, I can't remember if he was going to be a part of our Old School Cool series, but like he should be because like
he should be.
Like Paul Newman's so cool. Like from some of these movies. Yeah, and especially Color of Money, and then The Hustler, and
Sting, Luke, Cool Hand Luke,
The Sting,
The Sting,
yeah, Cool Hand Luke, all that stuff. Yeah, so they're all great. Yeah, so yeah, like as far as any classic actors go, he's probably one of my favorites. But and I always make sure that I support him, and I buy his salad dressing all the time.
Yeah.
So, but it's no Indiana Jones, though. I mean, yeah, the Temple of Doom. Like for me, they just go in chronological order as how I rank them personally. So this is my second favorite, and you're seeing him with Short Round, and then like all the like Kali Ma stuff, and then the like end scene where they're. Well, not end scene, but like near the end where they're having the chase through the mines and the mine carts and all that. It is like really cool stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna vote for Temple of Doom. Mm-hmm. So, but Wolf.
So yeah, never seen The Color of Money. Still need to check that one out. But to be honest with you, the worst Indiana Jones movie goes back and forth between this and Kingdom of Crystal Skull for me.
It's way better than Crystal Skull.
They're not even in the same grouping, Michael.
I don't know. They're pretty much both. This film has an annoying. The woman in this movie is so annoying and just gets on my nerves every single time she's on screen.
She is. I'll agree there.
And it's just I would watch some of the other just supporting
Karen Allen.
I would watch her in Temple of Doom over this girl any day. So
yeah,
or I mean I would watch her in Kingdom of Crystal Skull over the girl from Temple of Doom any day. So because I'm not really a fan of this movie, I'll give it The Color of Money. So
yeah, Steven?
Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Temple of Doom actually a prequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Yeah.
So it would. I don't know if it would have made much sense for Karen Allen to return in this.
Oh yeah, true. Sad.
It is funny. I did rewatch Temple of Doom recently on Hulu Live TV because I think it was on like one of the cable channels, and I do remember thinking I used to kind of like Kate Capshaw in this movie, and then I rewatched it. And I'm like, wow, she is a lot more grating in this movie than I remember her being.
They put all the bugs on her plate, and she's like.
Well, Spielberg didn't find her grating because he married her.
Yeah. Weird.
That being said, and because I've said that I'm a Crystal Skull defender, I think those two are pretty even to me in that I enjoy them, but they're not on the same level as Raiders or Last Crusade. The last 45 minutes, though, of Temple of Doom is awesome, especially the bridge scene. Mm-hmm. And plus, I haven't seen Color of Money. It's another Scorsese blind spot for me, so I will go with Temple of Doom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and of course, Malcolm. You like it, like Crystal Skull over Temple of
You're
course.
insane.
Hey,
It's so
like
much
I said,
fun when they're like
I
running
think
around in the jungle. Like
you might
like
be right, Malcolm. Honestly, it's
no,
No.
No.
or Shia LaBeouf swinging around in the trees with monkeys and all that. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. And then the aliens show up. Yeah,
I don't mind
Great time.
aliens
Biggest
and
pile of
Princess Bride.
garbage ever made.
Hey, that film is so like it's stupid. It is, but to the point where it's actually like can be entertaining while
No.
Indiana
it's what
Jones Temple of Doom is so stupid to the point that it's like I don't know. It's just
even
not,
Kate
I'll
Blanchett
let you
can
finish your
save
point,
that movie.
but it is
Yeah.
what Quantum Solace was to James Bond.
And I like
was the
Quantum of
biggest
Solace.
pile of shit that was ever
I kind of do
made.
too.
and
Crystal Skull is what Die Hard 5 is to the Die Hard series.
Oh, okay,
And-
no,
I like
no,
Die Hard.
no,
and
no,
Temple
no,
and
no,
Temple
no.
Temple
Die
of
Hard 5
Doom.
is
Die Hard
awful.
movies are freaking incredible.
Temple of Doom is what Spectre is to Bond franchise.
No,
Spectre,
you
yeah.
shut your
Yeah.
dirty mouth.
Yeah, that's a better
You
comparison.
shut your dirty
Spectre.
mouth.
But
That movie's
but
incredible.
Chris, what do you think? What do you think of this matchup? Get on track.
Newman's a god. Okay, that's all we need to say. But it's Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. It's probably it is actually my favorite Indiana Jones movie. So I'm gonna go with that one.
Over Raiders and Last Crusade.
I can see it. I can see people's personal opinions.
For sure, yeah.
Hey, fucking shout out Ki Hai Kwan, who might get an Oscar nomination for this year.
He
Yeah.
is great.
You know, I mean, what a comeback year for him and Brendan Fraser, dude! Like, awesome.
I want him to be the next Indiana Jones too. So
There you go. So I'm not going to think any of them are bad. So at least there's that.
Okay, fair enough. Man.
We got Munich versus Casino. All right. Me first. Yeah. I'm not as hot on Munich as like critics and stuff are. I think it's kind of a slog to get through. There's some good stuff in it, but I didn't find the story particularly compelling. I know it's a true story. I think just reading the Wikipedia was more exciting than the movie for me. But I love me some Casino. I think it's really fascinating. Love the setting, and it's really, really good stuff throughout it. So yeah, this is pretty easy for me. I'm going to go easy Casino.
Yeah. So I haven't seen Munich, but I've always wanted to because it's so highly rated by like the critics and even the fans. The fans rate it high too. But every time that I kind of ask people like which the Spielberg blind spots I should watch, like Munich's never in the conversation, so I just haven't gotten to it yet. But Casino's great though. Yeah, especially Joe Pesci, like man, like he just like look at him the wrong way and he's gonna freaking kill you with like a pencil or like whatever. Like he's just gonna like come after you. That guy's frightening in that movie. And then also the relationship between him and Robert De Niro like is a really cool dynamic. And when I was first deciding which one to watch, Casino or Goodfellas, I went with Casino first, and almost be because of that, I like it just as much as Goodfellas. Depending on the time of day or like when you ask me, I sometimes might prefer Casino over Goodfellas. Maybe like it just depends. I don't know. Like that's kind of a toss-up question for me, but I'll vote for Casino here. So Wolf.
So first off, I want to show. I have not seen Munich. I should though because I own it. I got the DVD for literally $1.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. So I got the DVD for $1, and I need to check.
I'd buy that for $1. Yeah,
I need to. I do need to check it out. But Casino, I still need to buy the 4K for Casino. I saw it today. I was tempted to buy it.
Wolf, you mean this 4K of Casino?
Yes, I do.
Yes,
I do.
Well, I traded it away to Jordan my nice steelbook of Casino, the Blu-ray for the 4K. But Jordan has my nice, pretty steelbook of it.
Oh,
yeah. Which is here somewhere. I'd have to dig through a couple of boxes. But.
I think this film is fantastic. And fun fact, this is something I learned about Casino. So apparently Scorsese would give Robert De Niro the first word and the last word, and then most of their dialogue in this film was improvised. So that's like something recently. I just found out about the film.
That's why there's 390 F-bombs in the movie.
Yeah.
Especially the desert scene where they confront each other in the desert. There's like 100 in like a span of 4 minutes.
Yeah,
it's like a record.
It's incredible. And they're both great in this film. And anytime Pesci and De Niro are together, it's a treat.
Forget your lines, just say the F word.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. And we're about to talk about one soon that has the most F words in cinema history. But but because of the way this one goes, I feel every time I watch it, I feel like it has more F words in that movie, just because it's like all just thrown in one scene rather than like spread throughout. It's like all just at once. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Casino here.
Yeah. Steven.
They're both great, but I think I slightly prefer Munich.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to see if I could dig out that Casino still, but I'm like, nope, not in that box. And my other ones are in like a storage
buried somewhere.
Although I do like the opening scene of Casino a lot. That's like bang way to literally to start a movie.
Yeah. Chris?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Casino here. Pretty easy vote.
Okay. Yeah, Jacob.
Yeah, 2 more blind spots for me, but the ones I've heard better things about is Casino, so I'll go with that one.
You should definitely see Casino. It's well worth your time. Really good. All right.
I think Casino might have.
It is 3 hours though, so y'all have to.
That's fine. It's just like Goodfellas. Fine.
I don't complain about run times.
But it moves fast like Goodfellas. Like it's edited like that, so it moves really fast. Like it moves.
I think Casino might play well into modern times, kind of because like Donald Trump, the whole like Taj Mahal thing, all that stuff. So yeah,
all right,
like it'd be kind of interesting to throw him in the mix.
Taxi Driver versus Amistad. Jordan.
So Amistad was another one of those ones that I saw way back when it was first released. But I caught it on TV and like I just like don't remember like seeing all of it. I just remember Jaimon Hansu like in it, but I don't even remember a lot about it. So I'm definitely due for a rewatch for sure. And Taxi Driver is great though. I think it might be one of the best performances from Robert De Niro that he's ever given, and just the character Travis Bickle is a really cool character, and like he's very frightening, especially when he switches to the mohawk and all that, and like just kind of seeing him just kind of give a commentary on like the city, and he wants to clean it up and all that stuff, and like him being a taxi driver. I mean from the title, but he gets to like know the city really well. So yeah, a movie. I'm not gonna say fun, but I'll say like great. So yeah, Wolf.
Yeah, so Goodfellas is like my favorite Scorsese film, but this might be like the best Scorsese film in the sense of like the themes, what it addresses, how it like how it is such an inspiration that so many films have they're like, oh, this is the Taxi Driver of this year and all that stuff. And it's like, First Reformed people said was the Taxi Driver that year. You Were Never Really Here. People said Taxi Driver that year. Drive, Taxi Driver that year. People kept on like saying how
the Taxi Driver.
Yeah. So it's like a lot of people are so it apparently it made such an impact on Hollywood that there was that it sort of made another genre of film almost. Amistad is a good film. I watched it in high school in like history class. It's good, but I don't think it's like incredible or anything. While Taxi Driver, I do think is incredible. So I'm gonna give it Taxi Driver.
Yeah, Steven.
All right, I guess this is where I have to give my big hot take. I'm not really big on Taxi Driver.
I don't think that's a hot take. That movie's polarizing. I don't think it's a hot take.
Are you sure?
But I do say I didn't really.
Polarizing. I don't know.
No. I've heard that a lot actually. That it turns off a lot of people, but I will say it gets better the more time you watch it, the more time you kind of analyze it. It's not pleasant to watch, but I didn't like it very much the first time I watched it either. But I liked it way better the third time.
I was actually with the movie until the first storyline ends, and then they go to the whole Jodie Foster stuff. That's the stuff I didn't really.
Bro, it's got a 93% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. What are you talking about? Like,
I can listen to a lot of movie podcasts and stuff and things where I hear people have takes like Stevens. They don't like it as much.
Yeah, I can see it.
Amistad, on the other hand, I think is one of Spielberg's most underrated movies. I actually think it is fantastic. Also, Anthony Hopkins, of course, is playing John Quincy Adams, who, although my dad is not able to find the family tree that would prove it, supposedly I am related to John Adams and John Quincy Adams.
That's cool.
Wow.
There you go.
Well, it's like on my mom's side, we're related to Abraham Lincoln, like way back when. So that's
neat.
thing. So yeah, traced it back. But anyways,
Are you voting for Amistad?
Yes.
Okay.
Not just because of that, but because I also think it's a good movie.
Man, my family member's in it. It's great. All right, Amistad. Chris?
I'm gonna go with Taxi Driver. So, and yeah, I can definitely understand how you're polarizing. That movie is hard to watch, but it's so good. So I'm gonna go with Taxi Driver. And I vaguely remember seeing Amistad, but it's been forever.
Are you talking to me? I mean, come on.
Another improvised scene.
The fact that it's all ad-libbed.
Yeah.
And the fact that he actually beat him. I didn't think he beat himself up for when he showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or he had himself beat up.
Maybe. I know he didn't sleep a lot for that movie, but yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob?
Yeah, I haven't seen Amistad, but I'm in the same boat on Taxi Driver. I've only seen it the one time, and my first viewing was okay. The Jodie Foster stuff kind of took me out of it, so I think I definitely need to give it a rewatch because I have heard that it gets better on a rewatch the more you can like pick up on things and analyze it. So I definitely want to do that. But I didn't hate the movie. I did think De Niro's performance was great. Just some stuff on the initial viewing took me out of it. But I'll still give it a vote.
Yeah. Almost as a tale of two movies. I think Spielberg's more interested in the political dealing courtroom movie that we would see a lot more of in like Lincoln than he's interested in Djimon Hounsou's movie. But I will say a lot of those scenes are great. Like the opening scene of Amistad is terrific, and a lot of this stuff is pretty brutal. But I'll give it to Taxi Driver. It gets better every time I watch it. So I'll go Taxi Driver.
Djimon Hounsou, I thought, should have been nominated for an Oscar. I think he's phenomenal.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on down. We got The Wolf of Wall Street, speaking of F-bombs, versus Reservoir Dogs.
Which I'm sure also has a lot of F-bombs.
Has quite a few as well, yeah. But I believe Wolf of Wall Street has the actual record right now. It's like 500 or something like that. Yeah. All right. And oddly enough, Wolf is up first.
Yeah, Wolfman talking about Wolf of Wall Street, which is like, as far as favorites go, might be like my second favorite Scorsese film. Like this film is fantastic. This film to me is, I feel, the fastest 3 hours I've ever seen. Like this movie is like an hour, and like this movie feels like it's like an hour and 40 minutes, hour 50 minutes, something like that. Like it just flies by, and you're engaged the whole way. And I honestly, earlier people kept on saying The Aviator was Leo's best performance. Some people said Shutter Island was in this tournament. For me, Wolf of Wall Street is Leonardo DiCaprio's best performance he's ever given. I think that he is phenomenal in this film. I think he won for the wrong movie. I think he should have won for this film. He was even better than Matthew McConaughey that year. He was just so good. It's up there with like Joaquin Phoenix in The Master and Natalie Portman in Black Swan as like the best performance of the 2010s. Like it is so good to me. And Reservoir Dogs is a great directorial debut from Tarantino. The script. I also own the script of that too, but the script is so good. The characters are so good. However, I know I am a Tarantino fanboy, but I prefer Wolf of Wall Street a little bit over Reservoir Dogs. So I'm gonna have to give it to Wolf of Wall Street. And here's the most blandest steelbook you're ever gonna see for Wolf of Wall Street. So
sure, yeah.
There's supposed to be another one coming out from like Arrow or something. It's gonna
it's like it looks so cool. It's like a wallet.
Yeah.
What?
Really
Ooh, that sounds
like
cool.
Arrow or something is making their own 4K. I'm waiting for that one. So
that sounds beautiful.
Sounds cool. Yeah.
Steven.
So what I will say about DiCaprio's performance in this movie is I still think The Aviator is his best performance. But that being said, I will say that this is definitely his most energetic performance. And also not only that, but also it's his most overtly comedic performance because, you know, he doesn't do a lot of comedies. But he actually is. He's actually pretty funny at times in this movie. I did feel the length. I think it's a very entertaining movie overall, but I do feel the length. I'm not saying that it shouldn't have been 3 hours, and it's definitely not boring, but you do still feel the 3 hour length, I think. Reservoir Dogs is my second favorite Tarantino movie. I think it's fantastic, especially all this stuff with Michael Madsen. I mean, you know, the scene when he's torturing the cop and just, you know, great stuff. So I will go with Reservoir Dogs.
Okay.
Yeah. Chris, what do you think?
So I love both of these movies so much. I mean, Reservoir Dogs is incredible. But yeah, Wolf of Wall Street is probably his best performance ever. He's so good in this movie, and God, just that scene where he sort of realizes, wait a second, he never should have driven home, and he didn't really drive home okay. His car's trashed, and they're tripping on the drugs and everything else when he tries to pull the gunner. Is unbelievable. Yeah.
Fucking babies make it look so easy.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You drove home okay?
Yeah. Get the fuck out of my house.
Is this your car, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Reservoir Dogs. It's another blind spot I need to get to. Wolf of Wall Street is great, highly entertaining, and now it's my turn to show off a pretty cool steelbook that I
Yeah.
What?
Oh, nice.
That is cool as hell.
Yeah,
That is.
That's pretty neat.
One of the few movies I double dipped on just because I like the steelbook so much.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll probably buy another steelbook or the wallet one whenever that comes out from Arrow. Yeah.
Jacob,
I
next time just take one dip and end it, okay? The central quote. Right?
But I was just looking online, and apparently there's a beautiful red steelbook of Reservoir Dogs that I want to own in 4K.
I've got the new one from Best Buy, the one that has the ear that slides off the slipcover, on and off. It's
Ooh, that sounds cool.
I showed that off the other night. Did you guys not see that?
No.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
I showed it off the other night. Anyways, I'll show it after the show. I really like Reservoir Dogs. It's great, but man, I've watched Wolf of Wall Street probably 100 times. I think that movie's so awesome. And I disagree with you. I think it's the most entertaining, fast-paced 3 hours ever made, period. Like, I think this movie, I can't believe how fast this movie goes. And, like, I think it's incredibly entertaining. There's not a dull moment in the movie. And I just think it's so fun and entertaining. It's great. Wolf of Wall Street, pretty easy for me.
Yeah. Yeah, so I kind of have a hot take. I'm not a big fan of Reservoir Dogs. I saw it recently, and I thought that it was just like all dialogue and like I don't know.
That's Tarantino.
Yeah, but
dialogue.
at the same time, they're not doing a whole lot in that movie. I mean, they're not. They're just like mostly in this warehouse, and that people get killed at like weird times. They're trying to cover up stuff, but it's just I don't know. Like I kind of like Michael Madsen and Steve Buscemi, but other than that, I'm just it's kind of boring for me. I don't care for it that much. But the Wolf of Wall Street is effing awesome, like it's hands down my favorite Scorsese movie ever made, and it's going to be a huge favorite in this tournament for me. And yeah, like I think that this movie flies by, like one of the fastest 3-hour watches. I would agree with that, and like there's so many great scenes, great like actors that show up even for like small roles, like
Margot Robbie. Whew.
Yeah, Margot Robbie. You see her naked in it. I mean, come on. but
Is that all you guys think about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean,
They're very high quality actors.
what we've talked
During
about for
that
2 hours
scene?
straight.
During that scene, it is.
Yeah,
but it's got a great punchline where he's like, "And I fucked her brains out for 15 seconds."
Yeah.
It's got a great punchline though. It's awesome.
Yeah. And like even like besides Matthew McConaughey, like he's probably the biggest cameo, but that you remember. But I mean, like John Favreau shows up. Kyle Chandler's great as the guy that's investigating him. John Bernthal's the guy that gets arrested and like kind of like gets them all screwed over. Rob Reiner, like there's some fun cameos in it, and yeah, like just the whole story, and like plus like I'm named after that character, Jordan Belfort. Come on, so I got to go for the Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, I'm not really, but
You wouldn't want to be named after him.
I forgot to say, of course, Leonardo DiCaprio gave a better performance than Matthew McConaughey. He was only in the movie for 5 minets.
I think he's referring to him in Dallas Buyers Club.
Don't ruin the joke, Steven.
Yeah.
All right, we got E.T. the Extraterrestrial versus Jackie Brown. That's interesting. All right, so Steven.
Interesting. Usually I would go for Spielberg over Tarantino, but I actually rewatched E.T. for the when we were doing when I was on Rankum and we were doing top 12 Steven Spielberg movies, and E.T. doesn't hold up for me as much as as much as I was hoping it did. It's good, but I don't think it's not top tier Spielberg. Whereas Jackie Brown is really good and one of Tarantino's better movies. So I will go with Jackie Brown.
Okay.
Yeah. Chris.
This is tough. I mean, I like Jackie Brown, but it's E.T. I gotta go with E.T.
Okay.
Yeah. Classic. Jacob.
Haven't seen Jackie Brown, seen E.T. probably at least half a dozen times, and I enjoy it every single time. So I'll go with E.T.
Yeah. Austin?
Yeah, I like E.T. It's a good movie. I rewatched it again fairly recently. I've seen it in the theater, I think, when they did that special edition that one time. I vastly prefer the theatrical cut more than the special edition with CGI.
Oh, yeah.
Released the walkie-talkie or the gun cut.
The gun cut, yeah.
The gun cut instead of the walkie-talkie.
Yeah, instead of the walkie-talkies, yeah.
Yeah. But hey, at least the Blu-rays and stuff give you the option of both of them, so I'll at least applaud them for that. Yeah, I really like Jackie Brown. It's my fourth favorite Tarantino movie. Man, is Robert Forster fantastic in this movie. Sam Jackson's great. Robert De Niro is great. Pam Grier is great. Everybody's good in that movie. Super underrated. I really, really like it. So I'm going to actually go Jackie Brown here.
Yeah. So I watched Jackie Brown for the very first time just a few days ago for this because it was one of my biggest Tarantino blind spots. And man, that movie's great. Like I wasn't sure if I was going to like it at first. Like it starts out fun with like Sam Jackson and Robert De Niro watching the like girls shooting guns and all that, like at the beginning, but then I thought like that it maybe got a little slow in parts, but it really amped up though when you find out like the whole thing that Sam Jackson has his money stashed away and he's trying to figure out how to get it back into the country after a bank robbery and all that stuff, and man, I miss Robert Forster already. Like he's only been dead about a year or two or something like that. But man, like what an incredible actor. And yeah, I thought he was phenomenal in it. And then like I'm not that familiar with Pam Grier, but she was great in it too. and then Robert De Niro too. Like,
I mean, come on, Jordan. It's a Tarantino movie with Chris Tucker in it.
yeah, Chris Tucker. Like, I wish he was in it a little more, like a little longer than what he was given. But
and you know why he's in it? It's because Tarantino thought Friday was the best movie of '95, and he loves Chris Tucker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's a huge Friday fan, so he put him in the movie. Yeah,
Sweet. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Robert De Niro though, like, even had some lines that makes me laugh. Like spoiler alert, like the scene in the mall where he shoots the girl because he's just annoying the living hell out of her.
I just, I shot her. Yeah, I mean, I shot her in the gut.
He's like, what?
Yeah, I got frustrated. And I shot her.
You shot her? Did anyone see you? Yeah. but yeah. So like it was a lot of fun, and like even like gives me nostalgia vibes. I'm going back into a mall and like seeing like these stores that like I grew up with as a kid. I'm kind of like a nostalgia nerd. I'll go back and like look into my past with those kind of things that I grew up with, and like seeing them go like into the record store and like playing tapes and like all that stuff. So yeah, and then even Michael Keaton too, like as the like one of the detectives too, like he was great in it. So yeah, but E.T. It does have my favorite movie score of all time. Like I absolutely love the E.T. score. Like I just get like all the chills and like nostalgia vibes from the score. But and the movie's good, but I think that I actually liked Jackie Brown better. So I'll go Jackie Brown. So
let me get this straight. Superhero movies, not cinema, but Friday is?
yeah, right.
Friday is absolutely cinema. It's great urban cinema.
Friday is
is a great
movie. You don't diss
Great
Friday.
movie. Don't diss Friday. Don't you dare say a bad word about Friday.
No.
I would watch
You shut
Friday.
your mouth.
I would watch Friday any day over Thor: Love and Thunder. All right?
Fuck yeah. Easy. Fuck yeah.
You know, and like a lot of the other movies.
I'd watch Friday over
in
most
4K.
movies that come out now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you diss Friday.
Is a Friday
Somebody's going to come around and knock you the fuck out, Steven.
Let's go on a huge tangent here. We'll compare it to every Marvel movie and DC movie.
All right,
Which
right
one
now.
would you watch?
Friday or
right now?
Watch
Right now.
Friday. Yeah.
Friday or Thor Ragnarok. Friday.
Yeah. No.
Friday.
But
Thor Ragnarok.
but Wolf, what do you think of this match?
Yeah.
So I am one that I'm growing on it. I'm not the biggest fan of E.T. Especially when I was a kid. I like this movie. I couldn't watch as a kid. This movie like terrified the shit out of me. I couldn't stand the look of E.T. That scared me so much as a kid. And then seeing it, it as an adult, it's good, but it's nothing like to write home about. I own this really cool like lenticular 4K though that comes like the soundtrack and like a book, like one of those digibook things. So it's kind of interesting, but yeah, Jackie Brown to me is the most underrated Tarantino film. I think this film doesn't get enough love. This is a different film for him because it's adapted from the material rather than being original. And I think that it has some of his best dialogue, some of his best characters, one of his most nuanced films he's done and layered films. Like it's really well done. And also came out my birth year, 1997, so holds a special place in my heart. Greatest year in cinema. Year we got Mortal Kombat Annihilation. But Jackie Brown, yeah, that's a great one. So I'm gonna go with Jackie Brown.
Yeah.
Okay. A bit of an upset, but Jackie Brown's going to take out E.T.
Yeah.
All right. Scroll on down. We got the King of Comedy. Scorsese versus Raiders. All right. Chris.
Raiders is an easy vote for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Jacob?
Yeah, it's an easy vote for me too because I haven't seen The King of Comedy. I love Raiders. I just think it's highly entertaining and just such a fun movie.
Yeah. Well, Austin?
Yeah, just because I think I know where this is going to go, I'm going to give a vote to The King of Comedy because I think it's another really underrated Scorsese movie. it's a really different Robert De Niro performance. If you haven't seen it, I can't recommend it enough. It's Rupert Pupkin, which is George's little handle for tonight, and it's a really cool, fun movie about a guy who's just obsessed with being famous and kind of a stalker, and he's delusional and all of the above. And it's really, really interesting and really fun movie, kind of darkly comedic. Just because I know where it's going to go, I'll try to give a vote for King of Comedy and see what happens.
Yeah. Mom, I'm trying to practice for the show. Mom.
Oh, come on, Mom.
Yeah, come on, Mom. Yeah. So I watched King of a Comedy actually this morning for the very first time to prep for this, and man, like this movie was great. This movie, like I had so much fun with, and the name's just really fun to say. Like I like saying a pumpkin because he's just like, it's not pumpkin because like he didn't mispronounce is what he always says, and yeah, just kind of seeing him be this guy that thinks that he's hilarious, but he's not, and it kind of made the movie almost more interesting because like I kind of knew that going in, so I'm like trying to pick out all the reasons why he's not funny. Like maybe if you would have switched up the joke like this certain way, it would have landed a little better, or it would have been a little funnier. But yeah, so like I was kind of thinking about that, and it's another movie that's very dialogue heavy, but like for this one it actually works. Like versus like Reservoir Dogs for me for whatever reason. Like I just really dig the way and Robert De Niro is portraying the character. But the thing is, I wish it was going up against anything else because freaking Raiders of the Lost Ark. That movie's like an all-time classic. And it's a classic for a reason because like if you ask most people to name the top 10 action heroes of all time, most of the time Indiana Jones is going to be on the list, and then you're going to think of that boulder scene in the cave, or the idol scene, or like Throw Me the Whip, like all that stuff, and like there's just so many scenes that are just like that I grew up with that were iconic, like that, like it always terrified me when they opened up the Ark of the Covenant, everyone's faces start melting, or like when he's running away from all the tribal people, he's like, start the plane, like all that stuff, or like when they're like tied up and like everything's on fire and they have to try to escape from all that, like all that stuff is just so iconic, and like it just has those moments almost more than almost any movie ever made of like sheer iconic moments from a movie to me. So I got to go with Raiders. So Wolf.
Yeah, Raiders is definitely iconic, and both have had such an influence on film. King of Comedy inspires a lot of stuff, like we just talked about. The Joker was inspired by it, and I think this film was fantastic. One of De Niro's best performances, and I just because while it is highly appreciated, I feel like it still doesn't get like enough love. Like it's like this is in like my top 3 like top or top 5 like Scorsese films. I think this film is fantastic. And so because of that, I love Raiders. I think Raiders is also fantastic. One is also an all-timer, but I want to show some love to King of Comedy. So I'm going to give it to King of Comedy.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Steven?
I've seen The King of Comedy once. It was a long time ago. And I remember liking it, but, I mean, it's obviously I've only seen it once. It's not really a Scorsese movie I've gone back to. So, whereas Raiders, I've seen a bunch of times, like thousands of times. Even got to see it in theaters one night when I think I 81. I don't know. It was a couple years ago. It was probably like one of those screenings because it was an anniversary for the movie or something. Yeah. So yeah, it's one of my. It's in my top 10, 15 movies of all time. So yeah, I got to go with Raiders of Lost Ark.
Yeah,
Raiders goes, but I recommend King of Comedy. If you haven't seen it, it'll show up again on our Pacino De Niro fight. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. It's kind of hard to find, but it's been uploaded to YouTube. So
and some streaming service called
God, Fuck this. So I just,
flex, whatever flex is. Yeah.
I just wrapped the gift, and look how glittery the wrapping paper is. I've got glitter all over my hands. Like, oh my god,
Ooh.
this is can't deal with this.
All right,
Fabulous.
Got Pulp Fiction versus The Departed.
Oh,
wow, this could be a tough one.
Come on.
My favorite Scorsese versus my favorite Tarantino.
Why can like Departed go up against like fucking I don't know like
because that's the way the wheel turns. Right,
yeah,
the wheel said otherwise.
The wheel said otherwise. Yep. Sorry, Jacob.
That's the wheel turns.
Yeah, this is probably the toughest matchup so far. Besides, that second matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that second one.
Yeah, this one because Pulp Fiction is another one that I'm debating putting on that top 10 of like just best movies ever made. But The Departed is one that I've watched more because I find it just a little more entertaining. But I by a hair I'm going The Departed, but don't ask me again.
Okay.
Well, I dig this little fun fact from Aiden in the chat. Toby Hooper was supposed to direct E.T., but Spielberg assigned him Poltergeist instead. A much better film. I would agree with that. I'm a massive Poltergeist fan. So yeah.
So Jacob, which one are you going with?
He said Departed.
But the joke is because he said don't ask me again. So.
Yeah.
And I said don't ask me.
Because he might change his mind.
I'm not answering your question.
Yeah.
Austin.
Peer pressure. Yeah. Departed's great. Pulp Fiction's that much better. Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. So like, I don't really love The Departed like everyone else does. I do like it. Like I still give it like a 7 out of 10. Like that's still good. I'm just not going to say I'm in love with it or anything. I think that it kind of takes some kind of interesting direction that I'm kind of like, that's all right. But Pulp Fiction though, like from the first time that I watched it, I remember just like mentioning Austin afterwards. I'm like I just watched a damn near masterpiece, or like a masterpiece. The way that this is filmed is just so like just masterful. Like there's not really like another word I can think of than just like a masterpiece for this movie. Like it's just so good. The way that it's kind of filmed out of order, and you have to try to piece everything together. The way that like the characters are built, the way that like these big name characters just were like almost begging to be in this movie, like Bruce Willis and stuff, like really wanted to be the main character, but he already had it cast, so he had to give him a different role. But yeah, like it's just like you are hooked from beginning to end, like every single scene, every single like the way that the cameras are shot, the way the characters interact. It's funny, it's got action, it's got like brutal scenes. It like makes you think about a lot of stuff. So yeah, like I don't know, like if I were teaching a film class, this is like the movie I would show my students of like, this is how you make a movie. This is just watch every beat of this movie and that's how it's done. So yeah, Pulp Fiction for sure. Wolf.
Yeah, so The Departed is fantastic. It won Martin Scorsese's long overdue win for Best Director.
Yeah.
And it's one of those rare examples where a remake is actually better than the original, because I watched the original not too long ago, and it was
Eternal Affairs.
Eternal Affairs. But yeah, Pulp Fiction, it is in my top 5 movies of all time. This movie is masterful, and you were talking about how like it's masterful how it's filmed out of order. Well, there was someone like who made a fan edit of the film, putting all the scenes in order. And
I need to see that.
Because if you watch it in chronological order, the last scene in the movie is Bruce Willis driving away on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That actually like works still. Yeah.
But it doesn't work as well as it being out of order though. And Tarantino is a master of nonlinear storytelling, and this film should have won Best Picture that year in '94 over Forrest Gump. This film is fantastic. So yeah, Pulp Fiction.
I'm a huge Forrest Gump fan, and I still think Pulp Fiction should have won. Yeah.
Yeah.
Steven?
Well, I don't think either of those movies should have won because Shawshank Redemption's in my top 3 of all time.
Yeah.
But oh man, it sounds like I mean, I know not everyone has gone yet, but it's sounding like Pulp Fiction is probably winning this. Maybe. It's funny actually. The first time I saw the Departed, I liked it, but I didn't.
You just went underwater, Steven. Sorry. Looks like you're underwater. Sorry.
But it's one of those movies that just got better with each viewing for me, and I've seen it a million times, and I love it. I'm not going to be mad if Pulp Fiction goes through because that movie's incredible as well. But I think The Departed is a slightly more entertaining movie. So The Departed.
Yeah. Chris.
So I don't unfortunately have any time to plug anything. I was gonna make a quick vote because I need to go, guys.
Sure, yeah.
But Pulp Fiction is a freaking masterpiece. But The Departed, I know it gets a lot of hate, which is that movie is just so good. I gotta go with The Departed as well. Probably will not make it through, guys. But hey, guys, I'm glad I was able to be here for the show.
Yeah. But
have a good one, guys, and Merry Christmas.
Chris,
Enjoy.
I'm gonna tell you, you should take a picture of your shirt since we can't see it and like post it online maybe like sometime. Because I got a really cool Beavis and Butthead Back to the Future crossover shirt for a late birthday present. So
I will.
But yeah,
Nice.
I will definitely.
Cool, man.
Do it.
Thanks, Chris.
All right.
See you later.
Yeah.
All right, man. Yeah, have it.
Merry-
Hey, guys,
Merry
Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see you.
With Chris's vote, we actually have a tie, but it goes to me, and I'm putting through Pulp Fiction. So
Yeah, there we go.
that. All right. So, all right. Let's wind it down. We're almost to the bottom here. We got first Avatar versus Gangs of New York.
All right.
Okay. Me first. Oh, this one's easy for me. Again, Avatar is okay, but Gangs of New York's in my top 100. Love that movie to pieces. I've advocated for it for a long time. So, I mean, everybody here knows my thoughts on Gangs of New York. I think it rules. So, yeah, Gangs of New York.
Yeah, this one's easy too. Like, I'm just kind of lukewarm on the first Avatar. Like, I don't even actually. I'm like less than lukewarm. I didn't really even like it that much. It's just kind of like a ripoff of a lot of other movies. And I mean, I don't know if it's purposely meant to do that, but you can like make the comparison. And like beyond that, though, I just think that it's just kind of like, I don't know. Like, it has a couple of cool action scenes, and other than that, I was bored with it. So, but yeah, Gangs of New York rules. Yeah, that movie was awesome. Like, I think every actor from like Daniel Day-Lewis and Leo all the way to like John C. Reilly and Brendan Gleeson, like they have outstanding
Henry Thomas from E.T. is in that movie.
Yeah, right. Henry Thomas. Yeah, and like even Cameron Diaz, even though her accent kind of blows, like the rest of it's of her performance, like it's not half bad. Like, I'll defend it. So, or defend her performance at least. So yeah, I'll vote Gangs of New York. Pretty easy.
Wolf.
Yeah, so I actually rewatched the first Avatar on Disney Plus, like right before seeing The Way of Water, and it was better than I remember. It was, but it's also still like not really the best. While Gangs of New York is like an awesome movie. I love that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, Daniel Day-Lewis, Cameron Diaz. All of them are great in the film. Liam Neeson's in here. He's great. Yeah, I think
She was in it longer. Yeah.
Yeah. There's I think all of them are excellent in this film, and yeah, so I'll go Gangs of New York.
All right, Steven.
Yeah, Steven.
Yeah, I think Avatar is pretty good, but it's my least favorite James Cameron movie. So I'll go with Gangs of New York.
All right, Jacob.
Yeah, the highest grossing film of all time, like Avatar. Come on. but Jacob.
How you gonna do?
Yeah, I still haven't seen Avatar. since I mentioned that earlier.
Oh, right.
Although I did find this cool special edition at Walmart. It was like $15. So and this is one thing I like. You see how the discs are in here, right? And sometimes you would just have to like pull them out.
Uh-huh.
Well, this one was cool because they got these things, and you can pull it out with the disc and then take the disc out.
There you go.
I wish more
nice.
box sets were like that.
Yeah.
And more special editions.
So you didn't scratch up the disc or something?
I love my Snyder trilogy 4K set I just got recently, but like I hate the way they packaged the 4Ks and the Blu-rays. Like I feel like I'm almost gonna break them each time I pull them out. It's like you're like trying to snap them out, and it's like it's awful. So
yeah, my Indiana Jones set is like that, and I just want to watch him run from boulders and stuff.
Yeah, right. That's all you want to do.
But back to this matchup, I haven't seen Avatar. I think Gangs of New York is really good. I watched it for the first time earlier this year, and great performances all around. I even don't mind Cameron Diaz and her subpar accent. But
she literally goes, "I leave you in the grace and the favor of the Lord."
When your biggest criticism of a movie is,
I noticed that, and she still doesn't sing it with that, even that,
when the biggest criticism of a movie is, well, her accent wasn't the best.
Yeah, that's the worst.
It's just a minor nitpick that you still got a
totally.
great movie, so I'll go Gangs of New York.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. No, that's the worst thing about it. Your movie's pretty good. All right, let's scrolling down. We got The Irishman versus Cape Fear. So two Scorsese's. All right.
I wish we could have had Chris here. This would have been a good matchup for him. Just knowing.
I'll vote for the De Niro movie.
Yeah, right. yes. Jordan.
Well, this one's kind of interesting because I've never seen Cape Fear, but I've seen The Irishman, and man, that movie is a long movie that you feel the length, and like the de-aging is kind of weird because you can de-age people all you want, but you can't de-age their movements and their whether they're trying to curb stomp people and do the different things, and it's just kind of, I don't know. It's just
de-age Pacino, but he still walks like an old man.
Yeah, right. And yeah, so like maybe there's a way in the future to fix that you still don't look like an old man. I don't know, but yeah. So the Irishman's, it's fine. Like it's fun to see Joe Pesci come back, like, and team up with these guys. So that's great. And man, I wish I had seen Cape Fear because I feel like I probably would have voted for it, but I haven't seen it. So I'll still vote for the Irishman. Like it was good. I just didn't love it like I thought I was going to. So yeah, I'll vote for that.
Yeah. So Cape Fear is one of the biggest blind spots I have from Scorsese. I need to see this one like ASAP. I've been wanting to see. I've seen a bunch of clips from it. I can already tell I love it just from some of the clips.
The scene where he's laughing in the theater is one of the greatest scenes ever.
I've seen that. I've seen that clip. It's really funny. But The Irishman, like, you can't really help that. It's an unfortunate thing. Like, yeah, they de-aged them, but like, you can't help them being old. Like, they're going to be old. It's like one of those things. Like, it's unfortunate, but
can't help it. Yeah,
it's you can't really help it. But I still thought the film was very effective. I loved it. Yeah, it's 3.5 hours long, but I was engaged the whole way through. And Joe Pesci, I loved seeing him do more of like not the crazy guy. Like he was my favorite performance in the movie. I loved seeing him be more like serious. And I felt like
the most grounded guy in the movie almost.
Yeah, I felt like, and I thought this movie thematically was one of the most poignant Scorsese films. Like I was expecting a mob film that was not going to be on this level of like nuance. Like the film's about loneliness, about aging, about legacy, about family, about like what we leave behind, how we want to be remembered when we die. Like there's so many like themes going on in this movie that really are powerful. And so just because of all that, I think that I'm gonna have to give it to The Irishman.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you hear the story about like how Martin Scorsese got Joe Pesci to come back for this movie, how many times he had to show up at his house? It was about a dozen times they had to show up at his house to try and get him to be in this thing. So yeah, it's a cool story.
Steven?
Yeah, Steven.
So, I actually thought the first 45 minutes of The Irishman was kind of boring because it's stuff we've seen in a million other mob movies, and I think De Niro's character, and especially, he's a very passive character who just, things just happen to him, so he's not a very dynamic character. But once Al Pacino enters the movie as Hoffa, that to me is when the movie starts to get great, and the rest of the movie is great. Cape Fear is a pretty solid genre movie, but it's a testament to how great of a career Scorsese has that it's still one of his lesser movies. So I'll go with The Irishman.
Yeah. Jacob?
Yeah, I haven't seen Cape Fear. I did feel the length a little bit with The Irishman, but it doesn't take away from how good the performances were and all that. Yeah, the de-aging, like whatever. But I still liked it enough that I'll give it a vote.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Austin?
I'll give the lone vote to Cape Fear because that movie's awesome and De Niro's great in it. And I think it's a really good remake. Like if we do our good remakes and bad remakes tournament, I'll put it in the good remakes thing for sure because it's great.
It's coming up.
And and both of these movies will also be in the Pacino De Niro versus thing, of course. So I definitely recommend anybody to see it if you haven't seen it before then. So I'll give a lone vote to Cape Fear, but I do like The Irishman.
But is The Irishman going to count as a De Niro movie or
both?
Is it a movie?
It's both, Steven.
Yeah,
that's
both.
why it's going to be in there.
Yeah,
that's the thing about it. They have several movies together, so it's both. Yeah.
Well,
But
it
it is hard to believe though that this is the first time Pacino has ever worked with Scorsese. It's like
That is kind of hard to believe when you think.
Yeah,
about
that
it.
is. But
yeah.
But despite not having seen a Cape Fear, like I do know Max Cady. He's like one of the iconic
Max Cady.
villains. Like, yeah.
All right, got Crystal Skull. There it is. Versus The Abyss. Is anybody voting for Crystal Skull?
Nope.
Yes, because I actually haven't
No.
seen The Abyss.
Well, that's great. Your exception is noted.
I haven't seen either, and I'll vote for The Abyss.
We're already.
It's been a long time since I've
so
seen
we
it.
just
I'm
need
due
to-
for a rewatch,
It's very good.
but I'll still vote for The Abyss. Yeah,
Yeah, let's put through The Abyss. Sorry, Steven.
I'm not a big underwater guy, but it's still I'll vote. For
Yeah. All right. And
Oh, you're not a big underwater guy. The film with Kristen Stewart. And,
No, that one even
Weird movie to
especially.
bring up right now.
Woof.
Yeah. All right, we got Hugo versus The Color Purple.
Okay.
And Wolf is first.
Like I said, now I need to rewatch it again because I was like sick when I watched it. But I still don't blame it fully on that. I fell asleep in Hugo. I thought that was kind of boring. And I was not that into it. But The Color Purple, I think is absolutely fantastic. So I'm gonna give it The Color Purple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steven?
Yes, so The Color Purple is another blind spot for me for Spielberg, and Hugo is great, so I will go with Hugo.
Yeah.
I think I know what Jacob's going to vote for, but you're voting for Hugo, right? He loves Hugo.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I haven't seen The Color Purple.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go Hugo. I absolutely love this movie.
Yeah, I know he loves this movie.
It's in my top 25 of all time. I adore this movie.
Yeah. I think I rewatched it because you had it on one of your lists and we talked about it. And it played well on a rewatch. I hadn't seen it since the theater until I watched it again recently. I think it's a good movie. It's not one of my personal favorites that I'll go back to a lot, but it worked really well. And if we ever do a tournament about movies, then this will count because Ben Kingsley's character was a filmmaker, and it's about kind of finding his old films and stuff. So included in there.
And it's just fun
Definitely
seeing
think about
Scorsese make a family movie. The guy who made Raging Bull.
Yeah.
Taxi Driver.
Mm-hmm.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. Right.
Like like I said, it's due for a rewatch for me. But,
Yeah, and Color Purple I just found really unpleasant. I didn't like some of the shit that goes on in that movie. It makes me uncomfortable. I didn't really like it. So I'll go Hugo.
I mean, Schindler's List makes us uncomfortable.
Yeah, but it's a different kind of uncomfortable when Danny Glover's like bargaining for which of the daughters, who's like 11, he wants to marry. It's really weird. It's uncomfortable. It's unpleasant. Like it's gross. Like I just don't like watching that shit. So yeah. Jordan.
Yeah. For some reason, I have this like very specific memory of like a night of my childhood. Like I don't know why it just stands out, but the night that like I was over at my grandparents' house and we were all watching the Color Purple. But I was pretty young though. I was probably like 7 or 8. I remember that I was like kind of in and out. Like I'd watch it, and then like we had a bunch of family over, so I was like running around with all my cousins doing other stuff too. Because when I got bored or my ADD kicked in, I'd like run off to go do other stuff, and then we ended the night with one of my cousins just making up some scary stories that I still remember to this day that I could repeat and tell people. I don't know why, but it's weird. But so I mean, the movie's good. I just don't remember a lot about it. I just remember Whoopi Goldberg. I remember Oprah. Like I don't remember a lot about the plot and like the movie stuff. So I'm probably due for a rewatch. But Hugo's great, and like for whatever reason, when I think Hugo, like I almost like want to say it's an animated movie. I know it's not, but like I always like I kind of get that kind of
feels like one come to life.
Yeah, right, yeah. So yeah, but and yeah, like I think it's one of Christopher Lee's like last movies too. I think, but and yeah, like the movie that kind of turned me on to Asa Butterfield as an actor, like he's great, and then Chloe Grace Moretz, and then also seeing Sacha Baron Cohen as the inspector, like running around. It's a fun time. Yeah, he's great in it. So
probably my second favorite performance of his.
Yeah. So I'll give it to Hugo. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right.
And no, my first is not him in Sweeney Todd. My first is actually him in Trial of the Chicago 7. I think he is incredible in that movie.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say him in like some like weirdo movie that he did, like Grimsby or something weird.
Oh my God, Brothers Grimsby was terrible.
Yeah. or the what's the one where he's playing like the homosexual guy, whatever that is.
All right. Let's fly through these very quickly, 10 seconds or less, and let's get to a winner. Some of these are going to be tough, but just go with your gut.
This is like the first time I'm like really excited. Well, not the first time, but like in a while, I'm like genuinely excited for this next round. So we got some crazy matchups.
All right. So Steven's first Aviator, Schindler's List.
Schindler's List.
Okay.
Schindler's List.
Okay. Yeah, Schindler.
Awesome. Yeah, Schindler's List.
And Wolf?
Schindler's List.
All right. Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to happen. All right. Yeah. This list, you got Minority Report and Silence. Jacob.
Silence.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'll go Minority Report.
I've never seen Silence, so a Minority Report.
Wolf.
Silence.
Okay. And I think I know where Steven's going.
Minority Report.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. That was going to go. All right. Into the Sweet 16. All right.
Yeah.
We got West Side Story versus Aliens.
Ooh.
And I'm up first. Do you know what I'm voting for, Jordan?
Yeah. I mean, even here.
Yeah, right.
I wish I could get West Side Story into the Elite Eight, but it's got to be Aliens.
Wolf.
Yeah. I was gonna show some love for West Side Story, but if it was gonna get something else, I would. But it's got to be Aliens.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Steven.
As much as I love Rachel Ziegler, Aliens, of course.
And Jacob.
Give it a few years, and I might go West Side Story, but right now I'm going Aliens.
All right. All right, Aliens. Got Hook versus Jaws.
Okay.
This could be interesting. Jordan.
Yeah, I think that for me personally, I just go back to Hook more. So I'll go Hook.
All right, Wolf.
Yeah, this is very easy. Jaws.
Steven.
as much as I love Hook, I mean, come on, look at my name.
Yeah.
John.
He's Chief Brody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob.
Chief Brody.
It's a lot closer than you would think, but I'm going Jaws as well.
Yeah, much love to Hook, but Jaws pretty easily for me.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. We got Inglourious Bastards and The Lost World. Wolf.
Okay.
Pretty sure I know where you're going, but
Inglourious Bastards.
okay. Steven.
This is kind of tough. I'm kind of lukewarm on both, to be honest. I'll actually show some love to The Lost World.
Yeah. Jacob?
Because it's the one I've seen and I enjoy it, The Lost World.
Yeah. Austin?
I just want to see Wolf's face real quick when I vote for The Lost World.
Ooh, so I could do something interesting here.
Y'all are fucking out of your minds. Like, y'all are actually fucking out of your minds. Like, y'all are actually like, not human.
Well,
cool.
I thought, oh, man, this one's actually kind of tough for me, though. That's the thing. But I'll vote for Inglourious Bastards because I really like it, but that puts it to a tie, I think.
No, there's no ties or 5. It's Lost World.
Oh, yeah.
That's the biggest upset of the entire game. Like, what the fuck? That is ridiculous.
Chris, come back. We need you.
It's funny because
I'm getting a phone call from Chris.
They both, to me, suffer from weak third acts.
Okay.
The third act of Inglourious Bastards is one of the best. They freaking love.
Wolf, you voted against Hateful Eight. You can't say a goddamn thing. Right? You're the Tarantino guy.
Wow.
Yeah, and Inglourious Bastards is better than the Hateful Eight.
Ooh, Terminator and Goodfellas. Ouch.
Man, Austin, I never picked you as a Lost World guy, but okay.
I am a Lost World guy. I've said that many times. I love Lost World.
Over Inglourious Bastards, though.
I'm not super hot on Inglourious Bastards. I think it's like mid-level Tarantino for me. It's like 5th or 6th in the rankings.
I think it's top level, but yeah.
Not for me. Not for me. So, Steve is up first. Terminator or Goodfellas?
Goodfellas.
All right, Jacob.
Terminator.
These are both top 20 for me. This really sucks.
Yeah, you deserve to get one of your top.
No way. No one deserves it.
Terminator.
It's not T2, so I gotta go Goodfellas.
All right, Wolf.
Yeah, Goodfellas.
All right.
Which is what none of you are, except for Jordan. He's a good
Yeah, I'm a good fellow. Come on.
Hey, you betrayed Tarantino.
Sorry for not voting for the movie I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could have actually voted for a good movie. So
I did vote for a good movie.
Yeah, Lost World's still good, even though I didn't vote for it. I like the Lost World.
But that's just okay.
All right, Jacob's up for Django and True Lies.
Django.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Django.
Yeah, I gotta go Django. Wolf?
It's Django.
And Steven.
And I'll be the lone vote for True Lies.
Yeah,
I figured. Yeah.
All right. Got Kill Bill versus Saving Private Ryan. In this case, Wolf, I'll go Kill Bill.
Yeah. And in this case, I'll go Kill Bill also.
Because Kill Bill is ranked higher than Inglourious Bastards for me. So, yeah.
Why would you go Kill Bill?
Oh, all right. Then I
guess I freaking hate that guy.
I guess I can forgive you because you voted for Kill Bill. So I'm also going to vote for Kill Bill. So
we'll be glad Chris isn't here because I guess he hates Kill Bill. I didn't know that until this episode. So.
Steven.
I don't know what you guys have against my uncle, Saving Private Ryan.
I know your uncle, and he owes me money, so I'm gonna.
And because it's the one I've seen, I'll go Saving Private Ryan.
Okay, that's close, but Kill Bill will move on in that one. And
one wants to kill, one wants to save.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's one of my.
They chose kill.
One of my like cheesy dad jokes that he would always tell us. He'd be like, oh, I hate that guy. He owes me money. He would always say that when I was a kid.
Yeah. All right. Jordan's up first for Raging Bull and Jurassic Park.
Oh, easy. Jurassic Park. No contest.
Okay.
Yeah, JP all the way.
Yeah.
And Steven?
Jurassic Park is the more entertaining movie, the one that I've seen more, so Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jacob?
For the same reason, Jurassic Park.
Yep.
All right. And
Austin?
yeah, Jurassic Park for me. And I'm assuming, that's a clean sweep. So, yeah, Jurassic Park.
So I want to see Jake LaMotta go up against a raptor. Come on. That'd be kind of
Yeah. We got Bringing Out the Dead and Ready Player One. Wolf.
Ready. Oh, well, just because I was always about to say Ready Player One, just because of my like kind of distaste I've gone for that movie, and I'm actually interested in seeing Bring Out the Dead. I'm going to say Bring Out the Dead.
Yeah, this matchup really should be War of the Worlds After Hours, but in my opinion,
I agree.
Yeah.
All of y'all are not good fellows for not voting After Hours, but
well, they haven't seen it. To be fair, it's underseen. All right, Steven.
Bringing Out the Dead.
Jacob.
Ready Player One.
I'm gonna go Bring Out the
Awesome.
Dead.
I didn't love Bringing Out the Dead. I vote Ready Player One. So.
Oh, but maybe a little underdog there. Bringing Out the Dead. Just moving on.
Yeah.
Right. Into the Sweet 16. Catch Me If You Can. And Temple of Doom.
Ooh,
this could be interesting. Yeah. All right, Steven.
Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
Okay, Jacob.
No,
We'll
need
try
you to take your time.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll try to catch you if we can.
Yeah, all right.
Sorry, but this is actually
for the first time recently and really enjoyed. We've got other Indiana Jones movies that could possibly go through, so I'll go Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Man, I think it's just going to be the nostalgia in me for this one, so I'll say Temple of Doom. But I won't be mad if Catch Me If You Can goes through.
But I got to go with the movie that sounds like a challenge. Catch Me If You Can. Like throwing out the challenge. Yeah.
Wolf.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Catch Me If You Can.
Okay, Catch Me If You Can hanging in there again.
Yeah.
A dark horse, but we'll see how far it gets.
Yeah.
Casino versus Taxi Driver.
Oh,
well, I can already tell you, Catch Me If You Can is probably gonna lose the next round.
We'll see. All right, Jacob.
But a De Niro movie.
Because I'm just lukewarm on Taxi Driver right now, and Casino just seems like a movie I'm going to love when I watch it. I'm going to go Casino.
You'll love it, yeah.
Take this card and stick it up your ass.
Yeah.
Take this card and stick it up your mother's ass. Take this card and stick it up your sister's ass. Casino.
Yeah.
It's a fucking great movie.
Yeah. I think that I have way more fun with Casino than Taxi Driver. I don't think you're supposed to have fun with it, but I think I just like Casino way better. So yeah.
Wolf.
Yeah, I know that Casino may be the more fun movie, but if we're talking about the better film, then I'm for sure gonna say Taxi Driver. So Taxi Driver.
Okay.
All right.
Steven.
It's been a while since I've seen Casino, but I'm gonna go with Casino.
Okay.
Yeah.
Casino moves on.
Do y'all like hate Taxi Driver all of a sudden or something?
No,
I've watched Casino. I've watched Casino like 30 times. I watched Taxi Driver like 3 times. So yeah, that's why. So it's just favorites.
Actually, I love Taxi Driver too. It's just tough.
Wolf of Wall Street and Jackie Brown.
Yeah.
I'm up first. Pretty easy for me. Not super easy because I love Jackie Brown, but Wolf of Wall Street.
Well, it's easy for me because I just saw Jackie Brown a few days ago, so I want some time. Maybe give it another rewatch in a few months or something. But I got to go Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf.
So like my heart's telling me to give it to Wolf of Wall Street, but just because I know where this is going, I want to show some love towards Jackie Brown. So I'm going to give it to Jackie Brown.
And you're going to betray your own namesake with Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah, that's true.
All right, Steven.
Well, Steven?
Jackie Brown.
Wow, Jacob.
Because I don't like people assuming they know where things are going to go. I'm going Jackie Brown.
Oh,
what?
Nuts.
Wow. Wow.
I'm assuming I'm on the
Come
panel.
on.
I full on voted on that, thinking I was only going to be me
Wow.
voting on it. I did not.
Wolf, you made a
Wow.
horrible error.
Yeah.
I did.
You
Wow.
should know when I'm on the panel. Don't assume you know where things are gonna go.
Wow.
Oh.
All right, we got Raiders
Never
versus Pulp
assume
Fiction.
anything again. Woo.
All right, Raiders and Pulp Fiction. That's a match right there too.
Well, I'm not voting like that again when Jacob's on so
All right,
man.
Jordan, you're up first.
Oh man, I thought I'd have some time here. Oh, this is one of the hardest ones. Let's see. I think I got to give it to Pulp Fiction, but man, I don't know if I feel confident with that vote. So, Wolf.
And what's interesting too is that like he took his time with it to the point I thought like he was going to say, I don't like people assuming where I'm going to go with it. So
But Wolf of Wall
Wolf
Street.
Wall Street.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be that. He
Yeah.
like, took his precious
Yeah.
time with it. I thought it was going to be that, but all right.
You should
Anyways,
just screw us all over.
I will say Pulp Fiction here for me.
All right,
That's it.
Steven.
Raiders. Gotta go with Raiders.
Okay, Jacob.
I'll tie it up. Raiders.
Pulp
You're
Fiction.
welcome.
Pulp Fiction.
You could play the way Jacob votes in your favor and like just assume things in your favor to get him to vote a certain way if you wanted to.
All right, Gangs of New York versus The Irishman. Wolf.
The Irishman.
Steven.
Gangs of New York.
Jacob.
I'll go Gangs of New York this time.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Gangs of New York.
Yep. Gangs of New York. Let's go.
All right. Hey, this is the first Gangs of New York's ever made it. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Right. Yeah.
It hardly ever makes it out of the first round.
I do want to throw something out there though, like so my TV has like a grayscale option because you can watch movies in black
Put
and
that
white.
movie in black and white.
And I rewatched The Irishman in black and white,
Black and white. Okay.
and it actually was really effective in that format.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we got The Abyss and Hugo. Final one over here, I believe. So, Steven.
I'll go with one I've seen. Hugo.
Okay. Jacob.
Hugo.
I'll go The Abyss.
It's been too long since I've seen The Abyss. I got to rewatch it. So Hugo.
Okay.
Wolf. Hey, with this Wolf, you might be muted.
Hello?
It's still 3-1 for Hugo right now.
It's still 3-1
All
right
right.
now, so Hugo will still win regardless. But Wolf, if you can hear us, sorry,
Who's just-
we're going to keep moving.
The best.
Yeah.
Okay, but it went 3-2 for Hugo. So, all right.
By the
Just-
way, by the way, there is one James Cameron movie that is not on this list.
What's
No,
that?
Piranha 2 he didn't direct.
I thought he did.
He directed for one day. The 6 directors on that movie. That's
Oh.
that's a myth. He directed for one day and got fired.
Uh,
And there's 6 different credited directors for that movie. Sorry, that's
he
not
got fired. Who would fire James Cameron?
Well, he was just like a special effects guy, and the first 2 directors got fired, and they just needed somebody to keep working. He did for one day. They hated what he did, and they fired him too. And they went through 3 other directors. It's not his
Wow.
movie. Sorry, it's just not.
Mhm.
So that's a myth. All right, so over here, the winners of the next round will be our Elite 8. So, yeah, here we go. We've got Schindler's List and Minority Report, and Jacob's up first.
Schindler's List.
Okay, I'm going to go Schindler.
Oh yeah, Schindler.
Wolf,
Schindler by miles. Yeah.
Steven. I know you love
Just to
Minority Report. I know.
Yeah, no, Schindler's List is the better movie, but I'm still gonna vote for Minority Report just to show it some love.
I understand. All right, but yeah, Schindler's List into the poll, into the Elite 8. So Spielberg's got 1 in the poll. Let's see how many each director gets in there.
Yeah.
Got Aliens versus Jaws. Yikes.
Oh,
That's a match. That's a match.
Ooh.
Well, you guys aren't going to have much time to think because I'm first and you know where I'm going with Aliens. But it hurts me to vote against you because Jaws is still top 10 for me, so that hurts.
Yeah.
But I still got to go Aliens.
It was
Jordan.
easy for me. Aliens. So.
Okay.
Wolf.
Jaws.
All right. Steven?
They're both in my top 20, but Jaws is in my top 5, so I got to go with Jaws.
All right. Jacob, down to you.
Got the power.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, right.
Don't make Austin quit the stream.
Don't Jackie Brown us this time.
I think just to ensure that James Cameron also has a movie represented, I'll go Aliens.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know what was going to happen there. I honestly
That
didn't,
is
so.
correct.
Close.
I won't play the clip, but I'll say it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, isn't this the only James Cameron movie left in the tournament?
Because the Abyss just got knocked out.
I think Terminator might still be in, but I think it's a tough matchup too.
No, maybe.
Wait, what happened to
Oh no,
Terminator got knocked out. T2 got knocked out by Schindler's
What
List.
happened to T2? Yeah, I guess it's out.
T2 was out of Schindler. Remember in the first round?
Oh yeah, the first round.
The first round, yeah. So
For some reason,
I
I
voted
thought
for
Terminator
T2.
beat Goodfellas.
Yeah, no, it was close. It was like 3-2. So yeah, we've got Lost World and Goodfellas.
But yet the Lost World is still here. Ugh.
Yeah, Jordan.
Favorable matchups.
Goodfellas and Lost World.
But for as much as I say that, though, I say that the Lost World's still here. But like, I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan of the whole franchise, so this matchup, I'll vote Lost World.
Wolf.
Wolf.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Goodfellas.
I'm Steven.
I like easy matches. Goodfellas.
Yeah. Jacob.
As much fun as I have with the Lost World, I will go Goodfellas this time.
Yeah. Austin.
Yeah, I'm crazy, but I'm not stupid. Goodfellas.
Hey, I resent that remark.
No.
No,
you know what I mean. I'm just
being.
but I've defended Lost World.
Yeah.
Again, I love that movie, but it ain't Goodfellas. Lost World is like in my 128, but Goodfellas is like top 20. So yeah, not there. All right, so Scorsese. So actually, Spielberg has a movie in, Cameron has a movie in, now Scorsese has a movie in the poll. So all we need is for a Tarantino movie, and I believe we will, because I believe it's Tarantino versus Tarantino in this one. So we will have a Tarantino movie in the poll because it's Tarantino
this
versus
one's
Tarantino.
tough.
But unfortunately it's Django versus Kill Bill. So it's a tough one, Wolf. Which baby are you gonna kill?
I'm the Tarantino guy, and I have to kill. And I have to kill.
Which child do you have to say? Which Sophie's Choice child do you have to sacrifice in this one?
Yeah, which
Oh god, I guess I'm gonna
are
have.
you gonna send down the river like baby Moses?
Man, I'm actually going to. I guess I'm gonna have to kill Bill, unfortunately, and give it to
Django.
Give it to Django. Yeah.
All right, Steven?
I like Django, but I gotta go with Kill Bill.
Okay, Jacob.
Django.
Yeah, I gotta go with the one that fluctuates being my number one at any given time. That's Django.
Man, and I would have gone Kill Bill, that movie.
But it was close, 3-2. It wasn't a blowout. Those two good movies, but Django.
What do you have against Bill? You've tried to kill him 3 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, what do you have against my uncle?
But hey, but this is fun. It's worked out so far. Every one of the 4-way directors has a movie in the poll so far, so that's interesting. So nobody's getting left out. We will see which movie reigns supreme, though. As over on the other side, we got Scorsese and Spielberg, Jurassic Park versus Bringing Out the Dead. Steven.
Well, since it's pretty obvious where this is going.
Don't ever say that, because it's gone many other ways.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe I'm doing this on purpose. Bringing out the dead.
Okay. Jacob.
Well, it doesn't work when you try to do it on purpose. Jurassic Park.
But don't let him know you're doing it on purpose next time.
Yeah. I don't know every
advice.
I don't know every single line to Bring Out the Dead. I know every single line to Jurassic Park. So Jurassic Park.
I know Bring Out Your Dead from Monty Python, but I know that.
That's where my mind goes every time someone says the title.
Yeah, but it's got to be Jurassic Park.
And Wolf?
Jurassic Park.
All right.
Bring Out Your Dead.
Yeah.
All right. We got Catch Me If You Can hanging in there. Spielberg and Scorsese again, because we got Casino. Jacob.
It's the one I've seen. Catch Me If You Can.
All right. This time I'm going to go Casino.
Yeah, this one's tough. Holy. I think I'll go. Man,
Hey guys, I have
I'll
to.
fuck
I have to go. I won't be able to finish, unfortunately.
You got to go right before the championship?
Yeah, unfortunately.
You don't count 10 more minutes?
Maybe I have 10 more. Maybe
We'll
10
be
more
done in
minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
It's up to you. Just do what you
Up
feel
to you.
is best.
If you got to go, you got to go. But you're going to be the Tarantino guy. If you don't hang in there, he might be.
That's true. I guess since we're very, we really got to speed through it. Then
Okay.
We're speeding.
Then I'll vote Casino. I can make up my mind. I'll just say Casino. I don't feel confident, but
yeah, Casino.
And Steven.
I would have gone with Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, Catch Me If You Can hung in there, but it's going to be Casino.
Yeah.
Jackie Brown, Pulp Fiction, another Tarantino.
Might get a Goodfellas Casino matchup. Come on,
Good.
guys.
I'm first. Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, yeah.
Wolf.
Because I know where it's going to go. Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Steven.
Pulp Fiction.
And Jacob.
Jackie Brown, obviously.
All right. It's going to be Pulp. All right. And got Gangs in New York.
Not quite, Jacob.
And
Not
Chico.
quite. Okay. Who's first?
Yeah.
Wait, who's first?
Jordan.
You just oh, sorry, you cut out for a second on my end. But Gangs in New York. Yeah.
All right. And
Wolf.
Gangs in New York.
Steven.
Even though I rank Gangs in New York a little higher, I'm going to go with Hugo.
All right, Jacob.
Yeah.
And I'll tie it up, even though I know where it's going.
Yeah, you know where it's going. But Gangs in New York finally gets in a poll. Yay.
Boom.
Yay. It's about damn time.
Not mad at it. Not mad at it.
All right, hang on. I'm just writing it down real quick. I'm writing down on my Elite Eight. Okay, so now that we got the Elite Eight, it's whoever wins the championship. So we'll do this quickly because Wolf's got to go, but we're almost there.
Yeah.
We've got scroll just a tad. This is going to be a tough one. These are all going to be tough.
Well, as soon as we hit a grand champion, Wolf will let you jump off.
Yeah. Schindler's List and Aliens. This is going to be tough. Wolf.
Schindler's.
Steven.
Aliens, just because it's the more rewatchable movie.
Yeah.
All right. Jacob.
Aliens has won the tournament. I don't believe Schindler's List has. Schindler's List.
I think he's trying to sway someone.
Still not going to sway me, Aliens.
You're not the one I'm trying to sway.
Yeah, I know. I know.
But I haven't been watching the chat as much because we're trying to speed through this. But shout out JPO and poor Bill never did harm to anyone except the bride and her fiance and her family and all the piano players.
Yes.
And
the unborn baby.
Yeah, all that. But yeah, I think here I got to go Aliens. So.
Ooh, Aliens knocks out Schindler. So still hasn't made it. All right. Goodfellas versus, I believe, Django. That's a tough one, too. That's a championship match as well. Steven.
Goodfellas.
All right.
This one's actually a little easier for me. Django.
Okay. I'm going to go Django.
Yeah, this one's a little easier for me. Django.
And Wolf.
Yeah, this one's a little easier for me. Goodfellas.
Okay.
All right.
But, hey, he voted against Tarantino, but Tarantino still went in.
Yeah, I did, but I mean, because
no matter what you do, Tarantino's gonna make it. Sorry.
Despite the fanboy's efforts, Tarantino still moves forward.
Yeah.
We could have one from every director in the final four.
We almost could, yeah. Jurassic Park and Casino. Jacob.
If we vote correctly here.
Let's see. So we get Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Wolf.
Jurassic Park.
And Steven.
And it'll be a clean sweep, Jurassic Park.
All right.
Yeah.
So Cameron's in, Tarantino's in, Spielberg's in. Again, almost one for everybody, pretty much. Pulp Fiction, Gangs of New York.
Oh, you could get one from everyone.
We could, yeah, if this goes a certain way. I don't know if it will, but we'll see. For me, I'm first. Gangs of New York.
Yeah, I want to see it happen. One from every director. Gangs of New York. Wolf.
I want to see it happen with my director, but I can't I can't vote against Pulp Fiction. So, Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Steven.
Yeah, if it was like if it was a couple other Scorsese movies, maybe, but not Gangs. I mean, as much as I love Gangs of New York, I gotta go Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
All right, and Jacob.
Well, I can make it happen. Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Let's go. Let's
All
do
right.
it. One from every director.
Wow, one from every director in the 4.
Love
Wow. All right.
These are the ones they are. The best movie from
Okay.
each director.
All right.
Right here.
So, well, I don't know if everybody would agree that's
Yeah,
the greatest movie, but we'll see.
I
According
could see
to,
that for 3 of the 4.
Three of the
three
four,
of the four.
3 of the 4 I could see it, but yeah.
Maybe swap up Gangs.
As much as I love Gangs of New York, even I would say Goodfellas is probably, or Wolf of Wall Street is probably his best movie. But,
Yeah.
but that's not really.
Apparently, Jacob didn't think Wolf of Wall Street was, but
Yeah, I know he could have made that happen. All right, Jordan's up first for Aliens.
I'm on the panel.
For Aliens and Django.
Yeah, this one's tough, but I think I got to give it to Aliens. It's just classic. I don't know. Aliens.
All right.
Wolf.
this is tough. But I'm gonna vote for my boy Tarantino, Django.
Steven.
Yeah, it's got to be Aliens.
Yeah. So you're the sci-fi guy. Come on.
Jacob.
Django.
Ooh, Austin.
Aliens.
Yeah. Okay. Like I was a little like curious what you might do. But...
I know, but I have to. I have to. I will hardly ever vote against. I will hardly ever vote against it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I have an original Django shirt, actually, a Franco Nero Django.
Oh, nice.
I almost have a shirt of every one of these except for Gangs of New York. So Wolf, you're up first for Jurassic Park and Gangs of New York.
Sorry, Gangs of New York, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
All right.
Steven?
It sucks that I'm not. Well, I mean, Jurassic Park is probably going to make it through anyways, but Jurassic Park is not one of my favorite Spielberg movies, so I'll go with Gangs of New York.
Well, Jacob?
Gangs of New York.
Austin?
Gangs of New York.
Oh, I knew you were going to do it. Oh, frick. Come on. Jurassic Park. Man. All right. Well, let's make this one way easier. It's a
Tournament fights if there's not a little bit of anarchy in the episode.
Yeah, a little bit.
Jesus.
Steven's up first. Aliens and Gangs of New York.
It's all Gangs in New York now, I guess.
It's
what are we doing here?
It was always going to be easy for me, no matter which one won. So Aliens.
Yeah.
Jacob.
Gangs of New York.
Oh.
Come on, Austin. Get a new winner.
Gangs of New York.
All right, I'm gonna have to find some new pinch hitters for the
more unique winners. It makes that 200th episode easier when there's 64 new.
Yeah, but I don't care. Aliens is hands like leaps and bounds better. So Aliens.
It's not up to me though. It's up to Wolf.
Gangs of New York.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I did it. Yeah.
You just took this whole entire tournament and made it like not legit.
And like that, it's a mic drop because I gotta go. But,
all right, yeah. If you want to
drop on there.
Promote anything real quick, you can, or if you got to just jump off, it's all good.
Yeah, just subscribe to the channel, Mega Movies. We do a lot of fun stuff over there, so definitely.
All right, cool.
Out, but yeah,
we'll do that for sure. Merry Christmas. We'll see you.
Hey, see ya.
And that is Mega Movies with a Z.
With a Z.
So, what's the best movies from these 4 iconic directors? One that we didn't really care about that much, and just
I think
a unique winner.
You know how much I love Gangs in New York, though. You know how many times I've championed that fucking movie, like over and over and over again, and it never makes it out of the first round, like Logan was for the longest time. Never made it out of the first round.
Yeah, but you don't love it more than Aliens. No way.
I love it though. It's in my top 20.
You're kidding yourself to vote it over Aliens. Come on.
Aliens has won twice.
So?
And I could have won.
Jurassic Park has won twice.
Yeah,
So this is
Aliens is your favorite movie. It could have won a third time.
That's true.
yeah.
Would it have been
So,
the
like, is
first 3-time winner?
Yeah.
No, we've had 2 other 3-time winners.
Okay.
Well, so like, is that what it's going to be from here until the 200th episode? Whatever one hasn't won before is what's going to get the votes.
I didn't leave it up to me. It was up to
It's not going to
Wolf.
be like,
If it's a
Well,
good
let's not-
movie,
let's not-
yeah. Why not?
It
let's
wasn't
not
up to
take
me.
it serious. Let's just vote for whatever.
It wasn't up to
won
me.
before.
I didn't leave it up to me.
Yeah.
I wasn't the tiebreaking vote.
Aren't you always, Jordan? Aren't you always the one saying that we can vote for whatever reason?
Yeah, you can vote for whatever reason. I'm just saying, like, if you feel good about just voting for movies that's never been on, and that's all, then that's fine. If you feel good about that,
It's a movie I like, though. It's not a movie I hate.
Yeah.
Jacob knows how much I love Gangs of New York.
Oh,
How many
yeah.
times have I advocated for that goddamn movie? How
So
many times
many
have I showed it
times.
to other people and told other people to watch it? How good it is.
I'll say
What if it was
this,
Aliens versus the BFG? Would you want to go for unique winner?
No, because I'm not passionate about the BFG. I'm passionate about Gangs of New York. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I didn't think Gangs of New York could make it this
It's a
far.
good
If,
movie.
if you had put,
Yeah.
if Wolf of Wall Street had gone in, I might have voted Wolf of Wall Street as the winner because that movie's in my top 10 also.
Over Aliens, you would have voted for.
I'll
it?
say,
If it came down to that, sure, yeah.
I'll say this.
Okay.
I actually do like Gangs of New York more than Jurassic Park.
Not even in the same universe, but I don't know. But all right, guys, yeah, we got
the
Gangs.
clip of the Big Lebowski where he says, "Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man."
Yeah, this is your opinion, man. Yeah,
I feel like we can play that
Well,
so
that is
many
a clip.
times on this show.
yeah. Well, it's Gangs in New York. Might be the best movie here. I don't know. I mean,
I am so ready for the comment on the poll.
Well, it's not going to win the poll. I mean, Schindler or Aliens or Pulp Fiction or something will win the poll. Jurassic Park, whatever. Gangs of New York. I'll be the only one who votes for it in the poll. So if that makes you feel any better, I'll be the lone vote for it in the poll, and nobody else will care.
should have been
So-
Pulp
Schindler lost,
Fiction,
right?
and it should have been Pulp Fiction versus Aliens, probably.
Should have been Wolf of Wall Street versus Aliens. Me personally.
Well,
That's
Wolf of
what
Wall
it's
Street
supposed
barely made it to the second round. So.
Who ruined that?
Jacob
Awesome.
ruined that. Jacob
Oh,
ruined
yeah.
that. I
Oh,
voted
yeah.
for Wolf of
Oh,
Wall
yeah.
Street. What do you-
Oh, yeah,
I
you're
thought
right.
you blamed
You're right,
me for
Jacob.
Wolf of Wall Street. Jacob switched his
Yeah,
vote.
Blame whoever
You're right.
assumed they knew how this was going to go. It's not the first time I've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Certainly won't be the last.
Because then Wolf of Wall Street and Pulp Fiction, I would have voted Wolf of Wall Street.
let's make it the last time you do that, Jacob. All right.
I like
No,
Wolf of
that's
Wall
all
Street,
good.
but not better than Pulp Fiction.
It's fun. We're just all having some fun. So, we don't know if this is the best movie, but it's fun.
Also, Wolf of Wall Street and Pulp Fiction is a much tougher matchup to vote on than Jackie Brown and
Oh yeah, it's up to me to like take this off screen. I forgot. I'm waiting for Austin to do it. But
Oh, you took it off. Yeah, you still got power.
Well-
I'm just running the bracket.
well, you could have closed it too, I guess, because Malcolm does it when he runs it. But either way, it's
Sure.
all good. But yeah, that was still fun though. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little weary about what won, but it's fun. Good.
I'm not.
Well, because you just wanted a unique one. That's the main thing.
I didn't leave it up to me.
Yeah, but
The guy who voted for it ran away quickly. Blame him.
once
I
somebody
honestly
started
thought he
that
was gonna
unique
go
movie
Alien.
talk, somebody.
It wasn't me this time. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. That was not me.
Yeah.
So Gangs of New York isn't my favorite Scorsese movie, but I still think it's a great movie, so I can't complain.
For anybody watching, put it in the chat if Gangs of New York is the best movie on this list. Let's hear it. All right. But we'll do some plugs here. We'll start with Steven. Where can we find you?
All over social media, just in my name. I don't have anything else to plug at the moment. So yeah, I don't even remember what's the next one of these that I'm supposed to be on.
I'll have to look.
Well, if it's not the next one, it's the one after that. Episode 100.
Oh yeah, I was gonna have you back for the 100th episode. That's on January 3rd. So
Yeah. We want to be on the 100th episode where literally every movie is a previous tournament winner. So something will have won twice at least, or 3 times, or 4 times, or whatever the hell.
Let's go disaster movie.
Disaster movie. Yeah.
I'm trying to make it so the 100th episode is like the people who have been on these episodes the most. So yeah. So it'll be
or at least our crew regulars if somebody can't make it. Pretty much, our movie hero regulars essentially. So, people who have been here to experience all those winners.
Yeah. To experience it, because they can be like, oh, I remember when that one won or whatever, you know.
Well, it'll be interesting because that episode will have a winner from a previous tournament. Obviously, we can't avoid that. But then the week after that, we'll literally have a whole bunch of movies. Like the whole thing will be movies that have never been on tournament fights, so guaranteed to have a unique winner. So that'll be fun. So that'll be a lot of fun. And there'll be a lot of really crazy, wacky movies on there because I've already done the bracket for it, so it's interesting. So,
Mm-hmm. Which
brink. Oh, right. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Spoilers.
Will be kind of interesting, like how I want to study for the next one, because we're going to have like our first 64 that have been on here a whole bunch, and we have most anticipated, and that's like just when you watch trailers or something or read the synopsis, and then we have our movies that have never been on tournament fights, so you just got to like watch these wacky movies that people pick. So so it'll be fun. But Jacob, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me here causing chaos on tournament fights, and tier anchor when I jump on those. Also starting after the new year, podcast about movies will be back. Austin and I will be going over the year 2022, not necessarily counting down our top movies, but just going over some underrated movies, some performances we really like. Austin will go over the horror movies that he's seen. I'll go over the animated movies I've seen because those are kind of our genres. And just talking about the year in general. And then Lonely Marks will also be back. We'll kind of be doing a best of for 2022, a little worst of, but we like to keep it mostly positive, so it'll be mostly best of. But there were some stinkers that happened that deserve recognition.
Maybe also the biggest news stories of the year. I mean, Vince McMahon no longer works for the WWE. There's some big things happened this past year. So
big year.
For sure.
For sure. But Austin, where can we find you?
I mean, mostly here. I don't have a whole lot else coming up as far as outside of this. I have some movie battleground matches if you want to go check those out at TMG Entertainment. But other than that, I'll be here. I'll be running the next couple of brackets. I'll be running the anticipated one as well, and the 100th episode and all that. So there'll be 100th episode has some very unique, wacky matchups as well. So that'll be a lot of fun to kind of reveal as we go. So that will be good times. But and I think we're gonna do a Christmas draft next week at some point. We'll nail down a day, but something like that. That'll be fun. Me, Jacob, and Jordan, maybe JPO as well. We'll see.
That'll be a fun time. And maybe in light of this episode, should we all go watch Gangs in New York now?
I've watched that movie 100 times. I'd watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, right. We don't really
I have
that.
The 2-disc DVD.
Yeah, the DVD. I have the 1-disc Blu-ray.
How long is that? The movie?
It's like 2 hours and 45 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, 2:45. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's shorter than Avatar: Way of Water.
The DVD has 2 discs still, huh?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. No, my Blu-ray is just 1 disc. So yeah.
Oh, well. Nice. Well, you can find all things for the channel at Movie Hero 2121 on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find probably even more at my personal Instagram at Jordan83616. You can go there. I've been posting more there because when I post on that channel, it'll automatically upload to my Facebook too. So it kind of dual post. It's just easier. But and then you'll be able to find us over in the Schwinn Friends and Family group, where we're probably the most active, and we'll be posting the poll for this in the next day or two, and you can kind of see if you agree or disagree or what you thought of our picks. And then I'll be doing a snack hero tomorrow morning. But when I say morning, I set my own schedule so I don't wake up that early. So maybe like 11 my time, which might be like 1 Eastern, something like that. So about that time, because I got to get through the last of my Christmas snacks. And it's funny, every time that I go to the store, I'm seeing more new Christmas snacks. I'm like, I can't, I'm done. I gotta just get through this, what I have. So, but, and then I've been doing some video game streams. So I did one 2 nights ago where I went over to Twitch. You can find me on Twitch if you go to Starlord83616, and I played some Marvel Midnight Suns, and that game is a lot of fun. Like I was surprised how much I actually dig that. So yeah, it's a comic book story and group of characters I'm not as familiar with, and I've read a lot of comics books. So yeah, it's a fun game. So I'm looking forward to playing that more, because kind of my schedule for the video games on the channel. I'm going to be streaming every Saturday, and then I have one floating day, which could be whatever day I have free. And I'm going to be doing on the YouTube channel. I'll be doing Life is Strange True Colors, and then on Twitch I'll be doing Marvel Midnight Suns. So you can kind of find it there. I'm going to see how long I can stick with Twitch. I get a lot less viewers, but it's also because I'm brand new to Twitch, and I'm kind of more established over on YouTube. So we'll kind of see how it goes. But that's kind of the schedule for now. And I'm going to be not streaming this Saturday because of Christmas. We're going to be kind of having a little break from most things. I mean, we'll be back within a week. We'll be doing most anticipated movies of 2023 next Thursday. So at the same time, so you can watch for that. And then we also have a Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/moviehero, you can find all kinds of exclusive episodes. We'll be doing a podcast episode coming up soon, probably around the first week of January or so. We'll be doing our top 12 movies of 2022. So you can find that on exclusively on the Patreon. And then I'll be doing some movie trivia over there also, which I have some pretty fun things kind of cooked up for that, which will involve some movie clips and some clips from scores and soundtracks, because there's a lot less copyrights over there. And then I also have a fun little bonus round that I came up with, and I'm not going to reveal yet, but it'll be like like for diehard movie fans. I'm just curious to see if they can be able to figure out some of these bonus questions that I have, which I think a lot of you guys probably will. But so yeah, and you not have to be a member of the Patreon in order to play in the trivia. You just have to be a member to watch it. So there's that. And then we're also doing some giveaways. I'm giving away movie posters and exclusive chances to create your own episodes, things like that. So just go to patreon.com/moviehero. You can sign up there, and we appreciate it. It really supports the channel. We put all the money right back into the channel. So and then just a little preview of what we have coming up for tournament fights and tier rankers. So I already mentioned the most anticipated movies. So we got that one. We also I talked about our 100th episode that'll be coming up on January 3rd. That'll be the first 64 unique movies to ever appear on tournament fights. So that's why we're you'll see us sometimes go for these unique movies, because we're looking forward to our 200th episode and what unique movies we can get on that list. So we'll have that. And then we also have our movies that have never been on tournament fights before. So we all submitted lists, and we have 4 of us that put about 12 or 13 movies that have never appeared on tournament fights, and we're gonna have a little battle of those movies. Then we also have our 2016 ladder series coming up. It's gonna be the same way that we did our 2017. We'll just have two tournaments of 64, and then a half bracket championship for that one. And then we're gonna be starting our best animated movie decade series. And we decided that we're gonna have to split up our best animated movies of 2010 until now. We're going through the list the other night and realized how many dang movies, about 150 movies that are animated movies that were released in that time. So we got to split it up. So we want to cover them all. There's a lot. Yeah. So we got that. Then we also have our best movies of 2022. We pushed that one back a couple weeks just so we can have some extra time to watch any stragglers. I know I have like 5 or 6 I got to watch from 2022 before we get to that episode. So we'll have that one coming up. We also have Richie Goodeker's Top 128 Championship. So we still haven't gotten to his. We only did part 1 and 2, so his championship's coming up. Then we also have movies set completely off of Earth. So we want to get back to some sci-fi movies. So anything that any movie that does not have Earth in it at all, then that'll be eligible. Which I've been working on putting that list together. I'm about halfway through, so I'm always open to suggestions on what could make up a tournament of 64 for that. Then we have another versus coming up that's going to be Brad Pitt versus Leo DiCaprio in movies. So they might see a lot of movies that appeared on tonight's episode on that one. So well that one, and then the last one I'll just say, since he's on the episode on January 31st, we'll be starting Steven Shepard's Top 128. Finally, we're gonna get to that one. So that'll be fun to see what kind of movies show up on his. I imagine maybe a lot of action and sci-fi. Maybe that's just a guess, but we'll see. Anything's possible. So yeah, that's just a little preview of what we have.
Some movies that we're on tonight.
Yeah, nice. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So, but yeah, that will do it for us tonight. So, yeah. So, thanks again, guys, and Merry Christmas to everyone. This will be our last episode before Christmas time. So, Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate. Yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you on the 29th is when we'll be back again. So yeah, but for Stephen, for Jacob, for Austin, for the Wolfman, for Chris Scott, I've been Jordan, the movie hero Anderson, and we'll see you next time.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year.